I just received a copy of my wife's spicy sleep tape. I don't know how to tell her.
Rim Kardashian?
First of the year, I received a package in the mail. It's a DVD addressed to me and a typed note that says, "For your eyes only."
Sinister.
It's my wife having spicy sleep separately with 3 guys. She was younger.
Can you have a seat over in that chair, please?
Much younger, based on body and appearance and hairstyle. It was around the time we were going out, either before or during, or after we were engaged. She grew her hair longer for the wedding and kept it that way. Also, this comes from throwaway SDD.
Why?
On the r/OK Storytime subreddit. First, I have no idea who sent me other than one of these guys in the DVD, none of which I know. I'm assuming it's one of my wife's exes. Second, I've no idea why they sent it. Are they trying to say she was screwing around on me? The tape isn't timestamped, so I don't have a frame of reference. She kept her hair short for years until we were engaged, so it could have been during any block of time, certainly before we dated. And also, what were they trying to achieve if this was taken before we dated? I know my wife had other partners. Hell, I had 3 times the partners she did before we were married, but that was 20 years ago. I think we're past that. But apparently, this person or persons isn't. The whole thing is strange. I'm not sure what's going on. I haven't told my wife. I'm not sure how she would take it. She's very spicy, sleepily, aggressive, and adventurous, but I don't think she'd like the idea of her past catching up to her. But I don't think I'll get to the bottom of this unless I tell her there's an edit. But do you think you say something?
I think so, because also, like, whoever sent this, like, that's
trying to ruin her life.
Trying to ruin her life. That's like illegal to have that copy of that and be sending it out.
My understanding is it was like for some corn, and it was like found online or something.
We sent a
DVD. We could like download the DVD.
But I was, and yeah, it totally could be that too. I was under the impression this was almost like a home video for like
home
spicy
video?
sleep reasons, not for
not
public
like public
porn reasons.
Yeah, I wonder which one it is. I was thinking it was like a paid gig. But maybe, but even it also could not be.
Yeah, it sounds like Izzy says maybe they're blackmailing her and then like a revenge corn. Like, there's got to be something here that's like not, I don't know. I would tell her for the fact of just like, hey, someone's trying
to blackmail
this.
Yeah, and like she probably would know who it is, honestly.
Yeah, and also it give like he said, it sounds like there's a high possibility that this happened before they were a couple. It seems, and I would just maybe approach it with the angle of like, I just don't want this person like blackmailing you. Yeah, essentially, but then also maybe having a conversation.
Yeah, I think talking about it, like as we say, stinky secrets grow stinkier.
Yeah,
and so expose it as soon as you can. Socrates says, "Got to pay for college somehow."
Exactly.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's like a college side hustle rather than like
maybe, but that doesn't mean it's still like
it would be
legal.
It would mean it would be legal if it was a paid college side hustle. And she was like an actress,
right?
It could be completely legal, but still being used for blackmail.
Yeah, I wonder if the blackmail part of it is. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it probably gets pretty complex, honestly.
But we got some edits. So edit. I'm overwhelmed by the responses. Thank you for your interest. We are interested parties right now.
Oh yes.
I did speak to my wife yesterday afternoon. Some mentioned letting her watch it in private, and I gave her that option. She did, and we talked at length. Some of it is a bit clearer now. The 2 amateur-looking videos are 2 roommates taken on the same night. That's why the camera doesn't move, and that's why the room is the same. I asked why the bed looks different, and she replied the sheets were a bit messy, so they changed them before they had another go. The other is a boyfriend she dated when her and I met, before we actually started dating. She knows this man is friends with one of the before mentioned roommates and thinks it's him who got the 3 videos together and sent them to us. Why? Well, she admits that last summer he tried connecting with her on Facebook When she did, he tried to make it spicy sleep yole again, so she stopped. She thinks he sent the DVD to cause an issue with us. For the first time, I now have doubts. Her answers are logical, but seem a bit off to me. And honestly, I may be upset that she did 2 guys in one night. I know it was 20 years ago, but that's still hard to take. Call me shallow if you want. Also, she didn't seem shaken by the DVD or the fact I had it, merely irritated that this person sent it. I had the idea she'd rather I didn't have it, but now that I did, oh well. Well, maybe she's just like secure enough in the relationship that she's not worried about it.
Yeah.
It still leaves many questions unanswered, such as why the tapes are from 96/97 and the DVD was made in 2013, but I'm just getting it now. That may be minor, but may be everything. Plus, how does this gentleman know where I live? Facebook doesn't give you that information.
So far that's the only thing that's raised like a.
Well, the main red flag I'm getting is an ex reached out to her on Facebook and she didn't say anything. Like talk to him.
Yeah.
Talk to him for a while, and then once it got like a little bit too much, she shut it off.
Yeah. That's a good point.
And she didn't say anything.
Great point.
That is true.
And how I mean, there's ways of finding an address, but that's also like
And plus, the guy,
I see a little bit of red flags. Not with the 2 guys in one night, but the other stuff.
Yeah.
And the guy, since he has that's like power, he definitely would have mentioned it and been like, hey, I'm going to send this if you don't do XYZ. Like, you don't just send something. You try to get something out of it and then send it. You know what I'm saying?
Like, what did he at first like successfully like try to get her to like continue this relationship or do something even more nefarious?
Yeah.
And then finally she drew a hard line and then he sent
threatened
it. And she's like trying to play it off as no big deal because that would potentially.
Yeah, because I think there were threats or like things he wanted, and she didn't mention that either, which I think is also a red flag.
But maybe why she didn't say anything is he like this guy reconnected with her and off the bat was like, I'm going to send this video if you don't send me this thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Or like initially it started as like, you know, like just chill, and then it got
too far, and like she didn't want to expose the part where it went too far, possibly, allegedly.
So now I think we're squarely in revenge corn territory. Like this is not like like they filmed it. I think it seems like consensually, but now it's like in revenge corn. How does this gentleman know where I live? Facebook doesn't give you that information. Being in contact with someone does. So now you see why I have doubts. Thanks to you all for your concern and feedback. I love my wife and cherish her, and her past is her past, but for some reason it's slapping us in the face right now. I will take some time between the two of us to figure out what is truly going on. And we have an edit number 2.
Oh,
should I go get into it or?
Yeah, real quick. I just wanted to add, I definitely could see where like some possible red flags that there might have been something more nefarious or bad done to the wife that she's like embarrassed to share.
Yeah.
I could also see that I think there's some insecurities with OP.
Yeah.
And maybe
which
OP's
he admitted to. He's
which he's admitted to.
Yeah, he's like, I'm irrationally like it's coming. Like I know I should be fine with it. Her past is her past. It shouldn't matter that she was with 2 guys in one night. But like I'm still bothered by it.
So I could see possibly either one.
Yeah. But edit 2, I want to clarify something. I've been getting a lot of feedback, mostly negative, where everyone is irritated with me that I'm upset with my wife for being 2 men in the same night. None of my business. It was 20 years ago. I should man up, that sort of thing. Look, I said it was hard to take. Most men understand their partner was with different people before them, but seeing their spouse with 2 men on the same night is hard to handle. I didn't say I was changing my view of her or leaving or any other angst you want to put on me. It was just a difficult thing for a married man to see and realize. I'll get past it, but it's not an easy thing. And for everyone who says it was 20 years ago, lighten up. I challenge you to sit back, grab a beer, and watch 2 young men have intercourse with your wife on the same night and see how you feel about it. Frustrated at best. You won't love her any less, but you'll not feel great afterwards, trust me. Did you have to watch the whole thing with a beer?
Yeah.
So thanks for everyone calling me an a-hole, But until you're in that position, I'll ignore you. Thank you very much. You know what you should never ignore? The fact that we go live every weekday at 3 p.m. PST on YouTube. So final, this will be my last edit. Thank you for all your support, but all I will say is it's time for me to make some decisions. I hacked into my wife's Facebook account, childish and mature. I'll admit it, but I did it nonetheless. And I found things disturbing enough that I need to think long and hard about what to do next. I've given her the benefit of the doubt through this entire thing. Now a shadow has been cast and I'm questioning her more than ever before. Heartbroken is putting it mildly. It's time for me to work on my life and myself. Thanks for everyone and their interest. What is it?
Dude, like what a vague and just like,
I'm guessing that she was sending stuff.
Yeah.
Relevant comments. Burnt Pumpkin Pie says someone is sending you what is basically revenge corn with a smaller audience. Yes, tell her. And Pinkus Pizza. My ultimate concern is that it's 20 years later. Whoever sent it knows where they live. If they're psychotic enough to send the video, who knows what else they're capable of. And that's where it ends.
Wow. We need more.
There's no updates.
We need more. That's crazy. But yeah, it seems like very obvious that there was some sort of back and forth, like actual.
It sounds like he saw something that caused him to distrust his wife. We don't know what that is, but I imagine it's something of the nature of like talking back and forth with this guy or something.
Engaging with him in that way. Yeah.
But dang, dude, I want to know. I want to know. Oh, it's also so messed up that like people will just dig through your whole life and try to sabotage good things that you have by things you did in the past.
And like to his point at the very end, like I am low key kind of like, what else is this guy gonna do? It's giving some very insane energy.
I found spicy pics of someone else on my boyfriend's phone. His excuse is they're AI generated.
Oh, then it's chill.
Then it's totally fine.
It's fine.
This is Ex Machina.
Exactly.
I just watched that movie.
It's a great movie.
I'll change all the names for privacy. I, 26 female, have been dating my boyfriend Miles, 29 male, for just over a year. Miles is an architect, passionate about his work, constantly sketching and dedicating time to his craft. Overall, our relationship has been great. I genuinely thought he was the one.
Oh.
Recently, though, something happened. By the way, this comes from Throwaway. I hate my boyfriend on the OK Storytime subreddit. Dang. A few months ago, Miles introduced me to Ava at a mutual friend's birthday party. I'd heard about her before, and now I got to meet her. She was funny and surprisingly stylish. What does that mean?
Yeah.
As a fashion buyer, we ended up chatting about trends and what's in right now. I've never felt weird about her, even though she and Miles have been friends for years. I was sort of glad she was in his life. She seemed like a good influence compared to some of his other friends. But lately, Miles has been more secretive with his phone, always tilting it away from me. I didn't say anything at first because I didn't want to be that girlfriend. Last week, I was at his place when his mom showed up saying her car battery had died and she needed help jump-starting it. Miles rushed out saying it wouldn't take long. He left his phone behind on the coffee table.
Is she going to do it?
Screen down.
Is she
Girl,
gonna do
don't
it?
do it.
Don't do it.
Do it.
She's going to do it.
I kept myself busy scrolling through TikTok, but his phone started buzzing repeatedly. Pandora's box. I'm not insecure, so I wouldn't snoop through my boyfriend's phone, but I couldn't shake my anxiety. After hesitating, I picked up his phone. All I saw were just work messages, making me feel stupid for snooping.
She's like, I would never snoop through his phone, and then I snooped through his phone.
Yep, and then I did do that.
I did. Yeah, that happened.
But then I checked everything, including the gallery. She's like, I didn't see anything, so I snooped much more.
Went through every little corner.
I went through everything. What I saw made my heart drop.
Oh.
Explicit photos of Ava.
Oh.
Some looked professional, while others seemed spontaneous, but they were all schmexual.
Maybe her boyfriend just has a side career as a nude photographer.
Maybe he's like a boudoir, photographer.
It's sounding classy and respectful.
Yeah,
I
mean,
understand the problem.
He said professional. So
yeah,
I felt like throwing up. Sorry, what?
Make a joke,
When Miles returned, I couldn't hold back. Why do you have photos of Ava unclothed on your phone? His reaction was strange. He didn't freak out or deny it. Instead, he just stared, then said, "It's not what you think." He insisted, "It's nothing, and you're overreacting."
I think it sounded more like, it's not what you think.
It's
Like
not,
he was just not even.
It's not what you think.
You're overreacting.
He was really calm about
He's
it.
super calm.
Never addressing my concerns. Eventually, he got defensive, making me feel wrong for invading his privacy.
Because you
did. You
invade
did.
his privacy.
Yeah. I just decided there and then that I should leave.
Oh.
He's been texting nonstop, but I'm too angry to respond. I can't stop thinking about those photos and can't eat without feeling sick. Why Ava? Why was she sending him that stuff? Why was he even saving them? He can't think I'm that dumb not to find out. Is this salvageable? What am I supposed to do now?
That's the end of the story.
And there are relevant comments and an update.
Thank God. I want an update.
I know. But I think you leave him. I think
What?
you stay gone.
What?
Yeah.
He's just
mean-
expressing his passion with art.
It's art, Sophia.
freaking
Are you not a
art.
fan of
He's
art?
he's an artiste.
Jeez, why can't the
Are you-
female body just be art?
Are you shaming the female form right now?
You're right.
He's
you're
just
right.
culture.
But there is more to the story.
There's a huge conversation of a simple question: why are there naked photos on your phone?
Well, she asked. He said there's an explanation. There's a reasonable explanation.
Did he
and
say
didn't
that?
Provide, yes.
There's a reasonable explanation. I'm
He said
not
it's
gonna
not
tell
what you think.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay.
period.
Well, she's gonna come back.
Yeah.
Obviously, she's still gonna be upset, but at least not be as triggered.
Yeah.
And then hopefully the conversation is like, okay,
What
is
it?
this explanation of this
Yeah.
nude person on your phone?
Exactly. Relevant comments. Rit says, "It's not what you think" is only a valid response if it is immediately followed by the surprisingly innocent, truthful explanation that makes total sense once revealed.
Uh-huh.
Failing that, one must assume it is what you think. You found his wank bank and Ava is the star. I like that comment.
That was funny.
Lord Mwahaha says this. If it's not what you think, then he needs to immediately follow up with what it is.
Yes.
He didn't because it is exactly what OP thinks.
It's
okay,
not
that
what you
commenter just
think.
copied exactly what the other commenter said.
But it was still true.
It was still true.
Yeah.
Francis Baby Houseman says, "Well, it all looks clear to me. He's interested in her. Nothing you can do about it. Save yourself some trouble and delete him from your life." OP says, "I don't know if I could live with myself not knowing everything that happened between them."
Yeah.
Small Fairy says, "Don't worry, you definitely can. Remember wise words from Tame Impala, the less I know, the better."
Yeah, hit it.
Comfortable Echo 972 says, "Do you want to salvage it? And if so, why? I could never be with someone I can't trust. You'll always wonder every time he picks up his phone and texts, comes home a little late, grows a little quiet. Trust doesn't come back no matter what people say. What happens is you lower your standards. You go numb. Part of you dies as you bury your head, but the guy who you can trust and who will love you and be loyal is out there, and you may miss him by staying with the cheater." OP says, "As corny as it sounds, it felt different this time. I've dated my share of men before, and I assure you this isn't my fear of being single forever speaking. It's more like I genuinely believed he was perfect. That's what I thought, at least. We have similar interests, and both of us were clingy. That's why this doesn't make sense. When would he have the time to pull all of this?" But there's an update. What do you think?
She's She's a style, immediate, fashion buyer. What was?
She's a fashion lady.
She's a
Okay.
fashionista.
So when you style someone, you got to
Mhm.
start from point blank.
Yeah.
You got to start from the base and build on that.
Yes.
So he's trying to style her, and he needs to understand her form,
Proportions.
her proportions,
Yeah.
and all those things.
Sure.
So he needs, the
Blank canvas.
Yeah, the blank canvas to then
Mhm.
add the clothes on.
Absolutely.
And he needs like a lot of angles.
Sure.
Some professional, some amateur, to be able to
course.
make sure he could style her properly. This
Yeah.
is care.
Well, the amateur ones were just like test shoots.
Yeah.
Just to get positions.
I think
And
this
then
is
the
care, and
professional.
this is respect for his damn craft.
I agree.
Oh, you
Uh,
agree? Okay, that was easy. Cool.
There we go. I
And that's the
agree.
end of the story, guys.
We figured it out.
But it is also OP's craft, not his.
Oh.
But he's trying
helping.
To,
He's
showing
trying to
an
impress
interest.
her. All right, let's see the update.
First of all, thank you to everyone who reached out to me privately or responded to my original post, whether you were understanding or trying to give me a reality check. I genuinely appreciate all of it. I know many of you advised against reaching out to him, but I decided to do it anyway.
Oh.
Ooh. I texted him. There were tons of unanswered messages, and it wasn't too long before he responded. I invited him to a cafe we used to get bagels from every Saturday morning to make him feel nostalgic and sad about throwing away our sweet tradition. She's like,
strategic.
this is what you're gonna lose.
Yeah, you're gonna lose all these bagels.
Mm-hmm. And partly because I felt a public space would force us to keep things civil. He tried hugging me when he came, but I just wanted to get straight to the point. The explanation he gave me was honestly confusing. Apparently, he and Ava had dated a few years back.
I didn't expect that.
That wasn't on my
Expectations.
Not on the bingo card.
Mm-mm. And what are you eating?
Chocolate.
Chocolate.
Oh.
You look so good with that in your mouth.
Okay.
Thank
I
you.
mean,
And he thought I'd make him drop her as a friend if I found out. He went on to say that he deleted her spicy pics, but because of some storage issue, they were still on his iPad. It's a
Interesting.
storage issue.
I believe it.
That makes no sense. but
That
okay.
doesn't even make sense. If it was a storage issue, you would have to delete more, not have more.
Well, no, he needed to add it to other devices to save
Yeah.
them because the storage might delete them, and that would be disrespectful to her form.
They're professional.
Yeah.
And when his phone synced with the iPad, the photos got downloaded onto his phone. That's a terrible excuse.
It's
That's a terrible
it might be true.
excuse.
It might be true.
This felt like a huge reach, but I decided to play along with it until the next day when I decided to start my own investigation.
Okay, so that's how the conversation ended.
yeah, he
He's
was like, "Oh,
babe, you
the-
don't
the
understand.
storage."
So he like takes out a paper. He's like,
Yeah.
so what I decided was true was that
Yeah.
they were on my iPad and then they transferred to my phone.
I took it to the Apple Genius Bar, and they actually said this happens a lot.
They're like, this
Yeah.
is pretty sick. I mean, yeah.
They were like, oh yeah, we could help with this.
Yeah.
I-
This happens all the time. Only guys do this, though.
Yeah, it's strange, huh?
I found Ava on Instagram through Miles' following list, messaged her, and asked her to get the story straight. After about 30 minutes, Ava responded with, "We never dated."
Dang.
Oh, that was just the...
So it turns out I wasn't professional.
It wasn't professional.
I was wrong.
Shortly after getting Ava's message, I called her and gave her all the facts. She was absolutely petrified. She said he
She's
could not have
petrified.
possibly gotten her spicy pics.
What?
I tried to describe the photos from what I remembered, but she reassured me that not only did she not take pictures like that, there was also no possibility they existed in the first place.
What? This story's getting wild.
I was cautious, but her reaction was convincing. At that point, I felt like I was going insane. I said goodbye to Ava because this was too much for both of us. I went straight to his house. When he let me in, I demanded answers and told him to stop BSing me.
Don't do it.
That's when he broke down and admitted the truth. He made AI-generated photos with her face.
Oh my God.
He mumbled something about it being a mistake, but I stopped listening. I just needed to leave. That is terrifying.
Oh my God.
That's terrifying. That is literally
I'm in
disgusting.
shock. I've never heard of this.
No, well, I mean, this is a thing that like people have been doing where they AI generate like
Well, I know that
over
was
a person.
thing for
Yeah.
like celebrities.
Yeah.
But
That
that's
is
just
disgusting.
so wrong to do it to
A
with
friend.
a friend you interact with.
I think it's the highest form of compliment. Thank you.
Imitation.
So-
Could you imagine?
AI
So not
generating.
only like
Yeah.
is this guy doing that in general with a
Yes.
friend, which is just
Disgusting.
yeah,
Just grossly inappropriate.
it's very inappropriate.
Huge violation of any like privacy of
Yeah, that's
friendship
really
of
weird.
anything.
But he's doing this while he's in a relationship and his partner
about
knows his friend
Yeah.
that he's doing. It's like such a lack of respect to all parties involved. So inappropriate.
Yeah. I wish you could like go to jail for that. Honestly, it's disgusting.
I mean, I know they're doing it with the voiceover things, like the AI voices. They're
Yeah.
making that illegal. So,
Oh really?
yeah.
No, I think there should be like I honestly think there should be, you know, restrictions
Some
on
regulations,
that. Regulations
for
on that
sure.
because that is like that's
It's dangerous.
dangerous.
That's
Yeah.
just what the internet's wild.
Yeah.
I love how I don't love, But it's
Go on.
it's funny how he like deep faked. He was like, I want professional nudes.
Yeah, and
I also
amateur
want
ones.
amateur
Well,
nudes.
he's like, I want her
the
to
full
send me like
gambit.
a personal one, you
But-
know?
Yeah.
He's
What I
trying to
really
replicate
love
that.
is he lied. He like lied and then lied again.
Yeah.
And he's like, my girlfriend's never gonna go to the source.
Yeah, she's not gonna check.
She's
No
too
way.
stupid to check.
Too freaking stupid.
But yeah, he made up a relationship
Yeah.
as a lie.
And
What a
didn't think she would
wild-
ask.
What a wild lie.
If you were OP, would you tell Ava?
For
Or,
sure.
Like, oh,
Absolutely.
like he's
Sure.
doing this.
Yeah,
Well,
I
she
mean, she
already
deserves
did.
to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did. Yeah,
But like, if you were OP, like, would you hide that like white lie? Like, oh, he just said you were in a relationship, not he has the deep.
no, I would
fakes.
tell her.
Yeah,
I would absolutely tell
for
her.
sure.
I think she
Okay.
deserves to know.
Yeah, I don't need to protect him.
Yeah. Avoiding his pathetic attempts to touch or comfort me, I left his place, took an Uber home, and spent the rest of the night crying. He's been blocked everywhere. He won't be reaching me again. After I informed Ava about the vile things he had done, she started tearing up.
Oh,
She cried. I cried. It was a mess.
Such a violation.
Yeah. I kept apologizing to her. It felt like I had some part in this horrible situation. By the way, it's never horrible if you join us live every weekday at 3 p.m. PST on
once.
YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. Just tap her profile. And there is a little bit left to the story, but I feel so bad for Ava. Like, I feel bad for OP, obviously, because
is
she's
just
been,
Gross.
but that is really, really awful for Ava, who's just this innocent bystander. Like, was
Yeah.
just his friend.
Yeah.
Disgusting. But there is a little bit left to the story.
Oh, this just feels so icky in my
So
body.
icky. So icky.
Yeah.
The rest will stay private, but I'll be supporting Ava with whatever she decides to do with this information. I'm just glad it's over. My friend will be staying over for a few days to help me get through it all. Thank you to everyone who shared kind words and cared. I'm still figuring things out, but I'll be okay. And that is the end of that story.
Damn.
Damn.
Yeah, it's scary. I
Yeah.
mean, just around the future where this stuff is just so accessible. It's so
Yeah.
accessible. I mean, in the past, it was like, oh, yeah, people make art or, and could make things, but this is just indistinguishable.
Yes.
And that was something that was being done with celebrities. But now with, AI advancement,
and also just
being able to
like
do it with
how
friends,
accessible it is.
Exactly. It's one, it's just scary.
Mm-hmm.
And then two, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
If, like relationships can be broken apart, people could be accused of sending this or
Yeah.
someone owning it, and there's no like indicator or
It's gonna
like,
it's becoming
if this is
yeah.
like real or not.
Exactly. It's becoming increasingly harder to distinguish what is real and fake online, which is scary.
Yeah. And then just poor OP to
Poor OP.
again, like you said, to be this innocent bystander,
Yeah.
and then to like have trust in her relationships completely broken apart.
Yeah.
That's super wounding and
Incredible.
like
Incredibly.
a total like mess up of your
And
perception.
for him to also gaslight her in the beginning, make her feel bad.
with a wild gaslight.
Yeah,
Of like,
crazy.
oh, we dated.
and she's like,
No.
I don't believe that. It doesn't sound right.
OP made a stupid joke to her husband and he stormed off, but there's more to it than seems at first. Hey Reddit, I am an Instagram snooper, so this is my first time here. I honestly never expected to post here because my husband, 30 male, and I, 27 female, have a great relationship. Do you? Why are
sounds
you
like
here?
Just to suffer. If you're on Reddit,
Your relationship is trash.
yeah, it's in the dumpster.
I don't care what it's about.
Of course, I can't say that we haven't had our occasional bumps, but it's honestly a dream come true all the way through. Our wedding was April 2021, and we both cried like babies that day. And since then, the sailing has been smoother than soap. And I'm not talking about Sophia's nickname, okay? Soap. This afternoon, me and him came home after a little lunch outing with our newly engaged friends, Kai and Marie. It went great, but was like just another outing, nothing special, though we got some bomb pasta back home, which I'm currently shoveling into my gob.
Somebody touch my spaghetti!
Yummy.
Since it is too chilly for ice cream. We live in a super tiny apartment, and so he showered first while I got the leftovers into the fridge and whatnot. I went in after him, finished my shower, and put some lotion on my palm, and I accidentally squeezed too much and dabbed some of it away. After I rubbed it on my face, I still had some of the leftovers on my fingers, and I did exactly what any perfectly sane person would do on my thumb. I whipped a little smiley face and some spiky hair to create Lotion Man.
There's also a picture of it.
Where is this going? I have no idea where this is going.
He didn't really react. He just looked at my hand and blinked at me. I honestly was just goofing around and started making a silly voice and saying some random shit sprinkled with some inside jokes
it.
to him.
Hey there, babe. You're looking real great today. I'm Mr. Lotion Hand Man. I love you.
That was great, John.
I was blabbing for about a minute before he just up and left. Left forever?
I don't have time for this childishness.
Is the relationship over?
I'm divorcing you.
She was doing an improv bit and he just left.
Oh, that is not very yes-hand of him.
Sophia does not approve of this.
Yeah.
Ah.
That's not following the rules of improv.
If everyone left the room while I was doing an improv bit, I'd never see anyone.
That was no and we're divorced.
You want to see the Lotion Man?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
want to see the Lotion Man.
Give us Lotion
Lotion
Man.
Man.
Cute little Lotion Man.
That is cute.
Do you think that she recreated Lotion Man?
I
she
think it's a
recreated it.
recreation.
Yeah.
Because did she hold it throughout the whole fight? I think not.
I think not.
I was, of course, completely oblivious as he grabbed some of his stuff, and I was just smiling and asking where he was going in kind of a playful way. He has a huge truck, and we just returned from a trip, so he has enough stuff to last him weeks. So it didn't really dawn on me that he was leaving until he drove away. He is maybe not leaving forever, but he is gone. We don't know.
Yeah. All because of Lotion Man.
All because of Lotion Man. He
ruins
said,
lives.
there can only be one man in your life, and he is not made of lotion. He is me.
It should have been me, not him.
Also,
Uh-oh.
You and Riley always leave the fridge open.
Don't be putting me on this.
You always leave it
I-
open.
She's over here doxing me. You know what you always do?
What?
He knew.
What do I always do, Riley?
He fucked up.
Never mind.
That's what I thought.
I honestly feel like Booble the Fool for making such a stupid joke and letting him just leave like that. I texted him a few times and he just said that he's thinking about things and that he's at his brother Tyler's place.
Think about Lotion Man.
There has to have been something else.
no, dude, I feel like it's a red. You know what this guy screams of not liking goofy girls.
Yeah, no. I feel like he is like
He's too
lame.
serious,
He's
yeah.
too serious, and he's like,
My girlfriend is too fun for me.
And is
I
this
love a goofy girl.
Yep.
is this an excuse to leave the relationship?
yeah.
How
I
dare
feel
you
like
make a
he
lotion
was-
man?
Oh.
So I can leave you for a lotion woman.
Yeah. Like he's already been thinking about leaving.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Lotion
I
Man
think there
is
was
just his
something else going
excuse.
on. Yeah.
Lotion Man is a scapegoat.
I've been texting him nonstop, but he hasn't been responding or even reading any of it. He also sleeps really early, so I doubt I can get in contact with him anytime soon. And his brother isn't responsive either, so I'm just leaving my phone on the nightstand and holding my breath. I don't think it really dawned on me yet. I stared blankly at the door for like 10 minutes before I got off my ass and actually tried contacting him. I've been with this man for years and I'm always cracking cheesy jokes. I feel so stupid and like shit for making Lotion Man and continuing after no responses instead of just shutting up and accepting that I'm unfunny. You're goofy and
You're
adorable.
a riot.
We love Lotion Man.
We love
I
Lotion
would have
Man.
laughed.
Same.
Same.
At the same time, I'm just confused. He's never been at this point, even in our rougher patches. The worst we've done is just takes breaks from sex or talk to one another a little less. Wasn't planning on getting into my sex life, but honestly, I'm just rambling at this point. Go off, girl. I'm all for giving space, but I can't say I'm not hurt. He is just leaving. And the process of divorce is just so, I don't even want to think about it anymore.
What? Wait, they're all like she's going to
Well,
divorce.
He hasn't literally spoken to her.
Lotion
So
Man.
she doesn't know what's going on. She's like, maybe I am getting divorced.
That would be crazy. I mean, it's definitely not because of Lotion Man though.
No.
Once you make a Lotion
Absolutely
Man,
not.
it is a very slippery, lubricated slope.
That is true. That is
That's
true.
what they say.
Was making Lotion Man as big of a mistake as I think it was? Any advice on getting him back home? Thank you, Reddit. Also, any cute subreddit suggestions would be appreciated. This is my first time on Reddit, and I want to distract myself. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a giant juicy update.
Yeah.
But first,
Yeah.
we must break down and help OP.
Well, I think like right now she's just searching for answers,
Yeah.
right? And I think there's like only one person you can really call in a situation like this.
Lotion Man. We're definitely Team Lotion Man over here.
I'm too Lotion Man, dude.
But
I am.
actually, what should she do in regards with rekindling or just contacting
I mean,
her husband.
she's reached out.
Yeah.
Yes.
She's reached out to the brother. She's reached out to him. She can't really do anything except
Yeah.
wait.
So we do nothing.
For right now, I would say like wait a day, wait a couple days. He'll probably respond at some point. If it goes by a week, then maybe like start talking to maybe some of his other family members, see if you can get contact with him.
I feel like after a day, you text him and you're like, hey, this is not okay. A way to, have an argument. You need to communicate with me. And I don't appreciate this silence.
I like that.
Hey Reddit, I posted earlier about how my husband left after I told a dumb joke. You can find it here. And I followed the advice I got and I kept my distance. It sounds like people like us.
So she didn't send anything. Just distance.
As far as we know,
distance.
after that point.
Yeah.
You all had me really pondering about how much of my relationship was just the butterflies and kittens that I thought it was. I still firmly believe that everything was absolutely perfect before it happened, but oh well. I have my opinions. So you guys were right about some things and wrong about some things. For those of you saying that the lotion thing had nothing to do with it, you were kind of wrong.
What do you mean?
But for the people who said something happened during the lunch outing, you were right on the money.
Which lunch outing?
He came back from lunch, I think.
My husband came back the other day.
Let's go.
He's here. He apologized and said he was ready to talk. I obliged. I tried my best not to be all over him, but quite frankly, I miss the man so damn much. He is my husband after all. He told me the following. I mentioned previously that we went out with our two newlywed friends, Kai, 30 male, and Mary, 29 female. We did have some quality time with all four of us, but often one or more people were missing from the table, considering it was a fusion buffet and the food was amazing. Well, apparently, at some point, my husband and Marie grabbed some food together, maybe grabbing other things, or maybe before we left, since I know I was talking to just Kai for a while before they appeared and we got to the car. Whatever it was, they were alone together. And put an ICU in the comments if you see something. Marie, the fiance, told my husband that when Kai proposed, she realized that she was in love with him, my husband.
That is a big admission.
Wait, during the proposal, she was like,
No, right after he proposed.
oh, okay, right after
Yes.
she was like, yes. And then she was like, wait a minute.
Wait a minute, I'm in love with you.
Wait a
At the
minute.
fusion food bar, picking up some chicken and like, hey, I actually realized I'm in love with you. Though she accepted Kai's proposal and tried to put her feelings to rest by organizing a lunch out. So let me distract my feelings by the person I love by getting lunch with him.
And then telling him that I love him.
Yeah.
Genius.
I mean, maybe they just I feel like discussing it more could be helpful, but you should also tell your wife immediately.
Yeah. That's the theme of this. Tell
Yeah.
your wife immediately.
Though apparently she was charmed or some BS because she asked him to run away with her or something. Bum.
Yo, that's whack.
She still
And
wants
he
him.
did. He literally grabbed his suitcase.
You're right.
He was about to run away.
Oh my goodness, I'm in shock.
I don't know, but she wanted him to leave me and be with her. Now, Marie is honestly gorgeous, which I hate to say because I'm so pissed off with her.
And she would never make a lotion.
Never. She's not a lotion
she's
man.
gorgeous, but is she as funny as lotion man?
So I'm
I think
saying.
Not a lotion man
not. She
type
don't
of
got
gal.
the goof factor.
She's the typical blonde, blue-eyed, skinny pageant girl. Ugh, I hate those.
Gross.
Who looks kind of like Emma Watson. I
Ew.
am not.
Gross.
Get out of
Hey,
here.
don't be saying that about Emma Watson.
I love Emma Watson. She's cool.
My husband gently turned her down and wished her all the best. But he says he had her on his mind for a while. We were all college friends, so we know one another very well. And when I showed him Lotion Man, it all essentially exploded inside him. An explosion of lotion notions.
He saw the lotion man. He was like, I can't do this anymore. I have a hot Emma Watson waiting for me.
I had a hair towel and some crappy old clothes on. I was giggling over a stupid thing, and apparently my immaturity ticked him off, especially compared to Marie. He suddenly got cold feet about our relationship and left for his brother's place.
He's like, Marie is so sophisticated and hot.
no lotion man's
No
in sight.
lotion.
There's only one use for her lotion. He eventually came back.
Skin.
He eventually came back and said that he loved me all over again. I was frozen in shock and asked some questions before asking him to sleep on the couch for at least that night.
Question: is this love bombing?
No.
I don't think so.
Love bombing is like like action of like actually doing something.
It could
like to
not
reverse love bomb.
necessarily. I don't know if it is in this case, but it is a thing in abusive like relationships where people will be abusive and then be like, "I'm so sorry, I love you, like you're amazing, you're the only person I like want," and then do it again.
Flip back and forth.
Yeah,
back
so
and forth.
that is could be love bombing.
Could be. Let us know in the comments.
I don't think it's love bombing.
Grab your tinfoil hats because I have a conspiracy theory. The brother's place is an absolute lie.
He went over and hooked up with her.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he went to her and then he's like, I'm so stupid. I made a mistake. Let me say I went to my, hey, brother Tyler, can you say I was at your house?
Okay.
Yeah.
Got
So
you, bro.
if that's true, obviously divorce. If it's not true, divorce. So
Well,
just-
what we know that he's done, even if he like went to the girl's house, he didn't lie by omission, did not tell his wife that Marie had confessed her feelings for him.
Yeah.
And said, "I want to run away with you."
No. She said she wants to run away with
that's
him.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
And he
And she
left
said
with
that-
the intention of maybe
of
running
doing
away.
that. Yes. And also like strongly considered it enough that a silly joke literally made him leave.
Yeah.
And that's
So you're saying that it is worth
I think
divorce? I don't think so. I think it's worth therapy. But if everything else is good in the relationship and it's just like this one thing, which is pretty bad, but
Yeah.
if like
What is the maximum time where you would divorce? Basically, no cheating happened, but she left you to think about this. When are you like, okay, can't do this anymore?
one day for every year of the relationship.
One day for every year.
Sam's
God.
golden rules
There it is.
updated.
That feels like a good rule.
That's a
so if you've
fair.
been dating if you've been together for 30 years, you can leave for a month.
However, she didn't have any knowledge of what was going on.
Yeah.
He literally just left. I don't think you can leave
It's the
without
lack
any
of context for
there's
me.
no context.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
He didn't explain
I think you,
anything.
get one, you still get one day for
I
every
think
year
that
of the
applies.
relationship.
I disagree.
Yeah.
I disagree.
One
I don't
day for every year of the relationship. Sam's bad takes. I sit on my throne.
So dad and mom have been married for 30-ish years.
Yes.
If dad left for 30 days, no warning, didn't text mom at all.
Hey, mom.
I would be not very happy.
I made a rule that for every year of marriage, you can disappear for a day. Would you agree with that rule?
No, that does not. Your rules. That is why you don't go on second dates. I gotta go.
Oh my God. Ain't no way.
I think she agreed with me.
Ain't no way she just threw some shade and
Mom and
left.
Donna, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, let's get back to reality.
Sophia with the clutch transition.
It's just a
But
prediction
what-
school.
no, but
I
what-
agree with you, Sam.
It's a prediction tool, and it sounded like she would be very mad. She would divorce.
yes.
But you
not
also
divorce.
It's a
didn't tell
prediction
her.
tool.
You
It's a
didn't tell her
prediction
that he would have come back in this scenario.
It's a prediction tool.
He would have come back and said, "I was
30 days.
rethinking the relationship."
1 minute later.
Anyway.
Let us know what you guys think.
Back to the story.
John's just waiting. John's just waiting patiently.
The story returns. He said that he loved me all over again. I was frozen in shock and asked some questions before asking him to sleep on the couch at least. He did, and it didn't really help me sleep. I can't believe it, honestly, that he was considering shitting away all of our relationship for a crush.
Yeah.
I would be crushed.
Yeah.
The more I think about it, the less I can look him in the eye.
That's funny.
Thank you.
That was funny.
We went to Thanksgiving lunch together with some of his family plus some close friends, which going to a big family function after that would be torturous.
Awkward.
And we spent last night together, so I think he thinks that he is in the clear.
You're not, dude. Divorce is coming.
Well, I can't lie and say I'm not considering just forgiving and forgetting, though.
Predictive tool.
He comes home from work about 6 hours from now, and I don't know what to do next. I have today off. I'm a teacher, and so I'm considering either A, contacting Kai and telling him about what his fiance is up to. My husband begged me not to, as Marie was apparently making a spontaneous mistake. B, contacting Marie and chewing her out for trying to F up my relationship or having a civil conversation. Less tempting, but it's whatever. C, contacting Tyler, his brother, and asking if he left the house at some point. Tyler is very close to Marie's place, and I'm getting worried about that. Back to my prediction.
That could be bad.
I think he cheated.
Though I doubt I'll get anything from him, or D, all of the above. So we are going to ask you all in the comments, and Riley and Sophia, running it back one more time.
A, B, C, or D.
Should she tell Kai? B, contact Marie and chew her out? C, tell the brother and figure out if he actually wasn't at Tyler's house, but was at Marie's house? Or do everything?
D, start with C, go to A, and then B.
I love that. Start with figuring out whether there was cheating.
Yep.
Yes.
Then
Chew Marie out.
chew Marie out and like talk to her about what's happening. Then
Go tell
the
Kai.
fiance.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Any advice or well wishes, because I'm in not a great place right now, would be appreciated. I wish you well. If I do end up updating, it'll probably be on my profile, since I don't understand why the subreddit has a one update policy. Plus, I don't want to update without a definite outlook on the future. I think I've mentioned before that legal stuff scares the shit out of me, so divorce will be tough, but it seems likely. I wish I could just forget it all.
Oh, it is
Thanks,
likely.
Reddit.
Boom.
No,
It is likely.
Boom. Your predictive tool means bull crap.
And you know what else I am predicting?
What?
That I know for a fact is there is an update.
Let's go.
So,
Put in the comments if you think he cheated or you think he didn't.
divorce or not, Sam?
If I was her.
Her.
And did he cheat or did he not cheat?
We don't know yet.
We don't know.
I would not divorce until I know.
Nah. Divorce or not?
Yes. Yay.
Divorce?
You would divorce.
Yay.
Riley,
Even if you
divorce or
didn't
not?
know.
Yay.
Get the information.
You can say not.
Not divorce.
Yeah.
Not divorce yet.
What do you do? What do you do? What would you do?
No.
No.
What would you do?
Nah. Okay. No.
We're split.
I
No,
would
no,
still
no, no,
find
no,
out.
no,
I
no,
would be like,
Batman.
divorce maybe, and I would still find out. But I would be like very.
You gotta- you can't be on the fence. It's gotta be
I
one
would be
side
on the
or the
fence.
other.
You said you would divorce.
Not divorce.
Currently,
Not on the fence.
Yay.
Divorce or not.
You're divorcing?
yay.
All right.
Okay, divorce.
Would you divorce or not? Put it in the comments.
Let us know. So, on to the update.
Update.
First of all, I would like to thank you so much for the overwhelming support and sweet messages.
You're welcome.
I was honestly not expecting this. A lot of you guys took the time to message me, and I had a lot of great conversations with fellow Redditors. I'm honestly so flattered by how freaking sweet some of you guys are. I wish I could have replied to every single one of your comments, but I upvoted them though. I think my post got deleted. Some of you asked for pictures of Lotion Man, yet I couldn't find the feature to upload photos, but it will as soon as I can. You can see it right here.
Picture.
That's right. A lot of you had some really interesting theories. Lol. So did we.
And predictive tools.
And and surprisingly, most of them were somewhat right.
Oh, did he cheat?
He cheated.
He cheated.
He cheated.
Majority ruled that I should do all three: confront Kai, Marie, husband, and Tyler, not necessarily in that order, which is pretty much what we said.
That is what we said.
And so I had to get smart with it, since a lot of you guys told me that any one of them could twist the story so that way they had known there was outside influence. Before I begin, yes, this full story is wacky and honestly doesn't make that much sense. I'm honestly just piecing it together via context clues, and I do have some questions left unanswered. Plus, nobody who is relaying this story is in a good headspace, and to you, it might all just seem like a ton of garbled nonsense. I'm just hoping it gets across, since I know a lot of people wanted closure on this.
We have a mystery on our hands.
Ooh, Raggy. We got some explaining to do. When my husband came home, we had a conversation. He essentially said the same story, and he told me that he was open to my marriage counseling suggestion. I gave him a big hug and did the laundry. Usually we split the laundry. Plus, I had been giving him a light cold shoulder. Enough punishment, Sophia?
No.
Lay down the hammer.
She gave him a light cold shoulder and then did the laundry.
She probably like didn't laugh at one of his jokes.
Yeah.
Ooh,
That's what it was. Those hurt.
Harsh. So I indirectly forgave him, in his eyes at least.
Oh, so she's doing a
She's
little
tricking him. she's doing the old
Sucker blue.
We haven't really set boundaries with our phones. Are we doing something there? Like, we know each other's passwords and everything, but he would definitely get suspicious if I was just scrolling around on it. So instead, I agreed to meet up with Kai first, the husband of the promiscuous fiance. A lot of you guys were concerned that he would tell Marie and everything would implode, but Kai is a big gym nut, and I've been wanting to go recently, so I said it as casually as possible.
Yo, want to lift some weights, bro?
Casually?
Yeah, dude.
Using this all as an excuse, and he agreed. Does Kai get a wrong message?
Yeah, this guy like, dude,
Maybe not.
want to pump that iron, but I want to pump you.
The next morning, I met with Kai. I sat down with him and told him all I know. And yes,
At the gym?
At the gym. And yes, I cried like a baby, lifting tears from my ducts. Originally, Kai was rigid and tried to kindly poke holes in what I was saying with a few gotcha questions. Gotcha. Before he too broke down.
Originally, Kai was doing a plank.
Yeah. Marie didn't tell him a word. That was a big red flag on its own. I then went to Marie with Kai. The dual team.
Damn, dude.
Tag
Double
team.
team Marie.
Oh God, not that way. Double teaming for the truth. A few Redditors told me to be as discreet as possible, so as a suggestion, I just blurted out to her that I know everything. She played dumb at first and then eventually broke. You all were right. Marie trying to settle her crush was a BS story. My husband was the one who approached her.
Oh,
Stinky.
Stinky man. She told me that he asked her if before she sealed it with Kai, if she wanted to have a night with him and another woman. But ladies and gentlemen, here is...
Wait. OP's husband went up to Kai's wife,
Marie.
soon-to-be wife, fiance, Marie, and said, do you want to have a night with me and another woman?
Yes.
So not only is there Marie, but there is a third woman
there's a third woman.
that we
Yep.
don't know about.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did they do it?
Who's to say?
Here is the kicker. Marie said yes.
Bro, that is wild
Oh my
to have a
God.
threesome before your wedding without your partner.
This is insanity. Everyone is terrible.
Ah!
But wait,
There's more.
I hate to say it, but that's not all.
No.
Apparently, Marie has been cheating on Kai for a while with men and women.
No!
And my husband has also been cheating frequently.
No!
And they covered for each other and occasionally met up.
No!
This is many, many, many stinky cheating sessions.
I was freaking right, man.
Oh.
I divorced at the first sign of trouble.
Mm-hmm.
You were on the fence.
No, I wasn't.
You were on the fence.
Only
Play it
because you guys
back, play
made
it
me feel
back.
bad. I was strong, and then you said you were really divorced. I was right.
We're just challenging you.
I think it's important to, all right, because if she just divorced, you may not have known the truth. It's
No,
important to
I
get
said
the
I would
truth
divorce,
first.
but I would figure out the truth.
But you would divorce before the
Before the
truth was
truth.
figured out.
I would be in the
divorce.
process of divorcing.
That's crazy.
That is divorcing without the truth.
Yeah, you're divorcing without
I would
the truth.
be in the process.
You could say nah, get the truth, then divorce.
Fine. But I would still have the intention of divorcing before I had even gotten the truth. I
That's
just
okay.
wouldn't.
So you just
lose
haven't
it.
divorced
Well,
yet.
Yes.
So the truth doesn't matter.
No, in this case, but I also.
So that you would just divorce based on, even if it was all true, you would still divorce.
But he still left for another
That was
woman.
so that was divorce. So you don't even, so then you don't even need to know because you would divorce anyway.
No, but I need to know for peace of mind before I really divorce. Because people like you would be like, why did you divorce?
That gives you peace of mind. That the truth was worse than I could have possibly imagined.
Yeah.
That would ruin me.
Yeah.
I would.
Okay, so you're saying that I should have divorced
Well, if you're
before
gonna-
finding it out.
I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna divorce,
Divorce, babe, divorce.
and you do, like honestly, if you already are set on divorcing with him just leaving, then divorce, because if that is enough to divorce, you're just going to be mentally and physically broken by the actual truth of the situation. So why know the truth if you were already going to divorce?
I don't know.
Well, anyway.
We would all divorce after the truth of this.
Yes.
That is what we can all agree on. Join in, Sam says. Anyways, at the last moment, she declined because she wanted to be loyal to Kai.
But she's
now,
already been cheating on him.
well, loyal to Kai now that they were engaged.
Oh.
It changes
yes, of
everything.
course.
Ha-ha.
Yeah, cheating is
Totally
okay
different.
before marriage.
Gotcha. As if she wasn't cheating for the majority of the relationship. And
That's
he,
wild.
the husband, got all pissed off for a while before saying he's just locked in his apartment now. Cue me showing him Lotion Man. He snaps and gets out of there. Kai and Marie are both arguing in tears and red in the face. I told them sorry that I butted into their relationship and that I'll handle my husband myself.
I'll handle
With a little help from
myself.
Lotion Man.
Let's do this mano y mano. I found Tyler, the brother, before the sun set. He told me, yes, his brother did stop by, but only around 11 p.m. My husband left at around 8 p.m.
What was he doing for at least an hour?
So these 3 hours went all. Tyler told me that he was angry and didn't tell him anything. I then tell him some context, just Lotion Man, and he says that maybe he was driving around for a while. It doesn't sound like my husband to drive as relief, but I'm willing to look into it since the future was already looking pretty effing bleak. I went home and I Googled something on my husband's phone. Instead, I was just checking if any of them had contacted him, aka the cheetahs.
Ooh.
Nothing, thankfully. I would have gone into more depth, but that would have to wait. Instead, I tried to keep him busy for the duration of the day. Remember how I said he sleeps really early? Well, that all worked in my favor. Cue to it working in her favor. I took his phone that night while he was snoring his ass off, ran into a million dead ends. I knew something was missing, but I just couldn't find it. And finally, I opened his hidden photos. And kaboom! The story was in full picture. I'm talking 8K high definition.
Are there boobies?
What did I find?
Boobies.
Nudes.
Boobies.
More nudes, even more nudes.
So many nudes.
All of one girl.
No.
And not me, shocker. But not Marie either. I didn't recognize her. Let's call her Allison.
It's the secret third woman.
Considering Allison was my second grade best friend who was actually a snake.
Oh, wait, no, sorry.
They're not the same person.
Just because
She
she's
just
like,
named her after another snake.
I was like, that's crazy.
You fooled us, OP. Just so I can call her something when I refer to her in the story because I don't actually know her name. She's absolutely gorgeous. Red hair, hourglass figure, you name it. I love how OP is always like, I hate this woman, but god dang, she's sassy.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Smoking hot dime piece. I am obviously broken. I traced her back to a contact. I feel sick. There it is, an affair. He's been contacting her since February, days before I surprised him with a Valentine's thing that I had been using my paychecks for and thinking I was the luckiest woman alive. It effing sucks. I can't even read more, but I toughed through it. Then I hit November 3rd, 2 days after the last. She's pissed off. She found out he was married all along.
Oh.
But she was in love with him. I would feel bad for her, but she didn't even bother trying to contact me out of love for him. Ergo, hubby has a genius idea. He told Allison, the cheetah, that he'll bring his wife over in a hotel to show that his wife doesn't care about the affair.
Oh.
He's gonna use Marie as a stunt double.
His fake wife!
Dude, this guy is playing some 4D chess. Holy shit.
Oh my God.
My goodness.
That's insane.
Right?
Oh my God. And she would have never figured it out if he hadn't left.
She wouldn't have figured out, and then he would have left for good.
Yeah.
Probably. So I assume when Marie canceled, there was nothing he could do. He became whiny and begged her to come. He told Allison that there was a inconvenience and that they would meet up another day, and then the Lotion Man.
Always comes back to Lotion Man.
Your hair.
He got pissed off at me and left. I don't know what he did after that, or can I ask why that would
Or
set
who
him
he
off?
did.
I don't know. Maybe
Lotion
he
Man was so sexy.
Maybe he uses lotion. I don't know. I don't know what he did after that, but whatever it is, he wasn't with either of them. Then he went back to Tyler's place, slept it off, and came back afterwards. I will spare you the details, but I couldn't even pretend to like him anymore after I found that out. I brought Kai and Marie over the next morning. He started effing blabbering and trying to deny it all before eventually admitting that he was into redheads. Marie is actually a strawberry blonde. Allison is very ginger. And it is one of the desires of his that I couldn't fulfill.
Wish she could have dyed her hair.
Yeah. But she
Not that she should have had. Yeah, not that she should have to.
Suggesting that she should just dye her hair to win this man's love, Sophia.
No, absolutely not.
How dare you?
But like him being like, you could never fulfill this for me. Like that's one of the most easily changeable things.
Yeah.
Tell
not
him,
that
Sophia.
she should. If some guys like dye your hair.
But in theory, is this a theoretical theory from Sophia?
No.
Sophia's redhead rules.
There we go. Even I could see past his BS saying that he loved only me and that being with Allison/Marie only made him love me more. I just said F it and packed my stuff.
Good.
Go off, sis.
Yeah. Take Lotion Man and run.
That's right. Yeah, be with him. The true man in your life. He got more desperate, but even I, the girl who is honestly infatuated with him, knew it was over. He technically owns the apartment, so I had to leave. Now I'm staying with Kai. Maybe. He is as hurt as I am. I feel for him too. His wife was his world. We were hugging and crying for a while, ranting about God knows what, just trying to get over ourselves, to be honest. He just tried lightening the mood by making lunch, and it was really nice. He is a wonderful cook.
Are they going to get into a relationship?
Wait, side note.
Conspiracy theory?
Test, show him Lotion Man.
Side note, that's kind of convenient that like two people kind of cheat on each other. So like, she can go to Kai's house and then Marie can go to OP's husband's house. Like, no one's homeless.
Yeah.
No one's
nice.
homeless.
Everyone happy ending.
And we've seen this swap before.
Wife swap.
We've seen this swap before, ladies and gentlemen. I showed him the other two posts and he got a kick out of some of your comments. Haha. As far as I know, my soon-to-be ex-husband is with Marie for now. I don't care about either of them, and honestly, it's kind of therapeutic just having some kind of closure and not walking on eggshells like I have been for the past few days. Kai and I are going to the gym tomorrow to do some relaxing yoga and hopefully figure out what to do next.
Oh, I know what you're going to do next.
Oh, goodness. Let's do some custom stretches, my
hot
guy.
yoga.
Oh my. We've both taken off from work. I'm sorting out my finances and hopefully I should get the ball rolling to finally legally split from my husband and be able to call him my ex and not soon to be ex. I am still so frazzled. I have at least half a dozen pictures of him and me on my desk, and our wedding picture is in my lock screen on pretty much all my devices. Ouch. I know my students will notice his sudden disappearance from my life, and I'll have to tell them that the guy I've been raving about for the past forever is divorcing me. I have to tell all my family and friends. Kai is my rock in this whole thing, and we'll eventually have to part ways, which hurts me because he's honestly my number one support system.
Why do they have to part ways?
Yeah.
Why don't we bring your ways together?
Yeah. I see a way.
Join the ways to
A third way. A path.
To
Oh no, maybe.
Yeah.
Living arrangements, actual divorce costs, law stuff, yuck, therapy, sigh. I still have a lot to go through. I can't believe I thought the relationship was perfect. It's really just therapeutic to write all of this down. But Reddit, thank you so much. I've already talked about how much support I've received, but honestly, some of you guys, honesty and compliments have, for lack of better emphasis, saved my life. I would have been with my cheating scum and Kai would have been too. This place is so awesome and there's so much to be seen in here. So many nice people checking in on me, wanting to keep up with my story. I will be coming back for more advice someday, though just know that I've seen y'all, yes, all of your sweet words, and I will continue lurking here for a long time. But this should be my final update for now. Thank you again, Reddit, from me and Kai. So there is a bit more to discuss here.
A bit.
the saga continues.
The saga continues.
I want to know if anything happens with Kai and her.
Yeah.
What say we? Together or not?
I say together.
I think they should
Together
be.
or not?
I think they should be. I don't know if they are. Okay, go ahead. Together.
Together. Yes, Riley.
Gym partners should always be together.
There we go.
Gym
And-
partners who gym together stay together.
And I'm
true.
going to say together.
The yays have it.
A unanimous together for this next part of the story. So, whoa, holy shit. I was wondering why my inbox was exploding. Thank you all for the well wishes. I've been scrolling for a while, and wow, I'm grateful with so many of the people resonating with everything I've said. There's a lot of things I have to clear it up, so here it goes. The update.
Here it goes.
The update.
About now, nothing much has changed. It's been a little over a week since my final update. My ex-husband and I have briefly spoken about our impending divorce, but other than that, nothing much. Still healing, still working, still hurting. Call me in a year's time and I might have something better for you here about Allison, the other affair girl. No success in contacting her, though some of your suggestions have motivated me to work harder. About Kai and me. I know a lot of you are talking about this, so I'd rather get it out now rather than skirt around it. Kai and I are healing together
Ooh.
as friends.
Oh.
Yes,
For now.
for now. And I doubt we would be an ideal match.
No.
Kai wants independent couple life, and I'm hoping to have kids. He's expressed that he has a very low libido. Why is he expressing that to you? I don't know. A big reason why he blames the whole situation on himself.
Oh,
Don't do that. Well, I have a high one, a high libido. Besides, we're basically brother and sister, but thank you for thinking about my options, LOL. Not quite ready to date yet and probably won't be for a while. Is the story fake? Yep, you caught me. Haha, just kidding. I wish it was. No curses to you if you think it is, though. It's not like you can trust everything you see on the internet, and I doubt you can change your mind, but unfortunately, yes, I am living in this reality, and no amount of rude messages are going to stop that. And that is where our story concludes.
What a saga.
What a saga indeed.
Saga. Yeah, I'm just curious, like, when would you have ended things? Like in the comments, let us know. And also, I don't know, like, is there anything that we should give advice on from here?
Love yourself.
Yeah, I think, like, honestly, it's good that she's not getting with Kai because now she can date herself, love herself, invest in herself,
Yeah.
and
Work on
Honestly, getting right back into a relationship after, probably not the best idea.
Yeah.
You need time,
What
girl.
they say in improv class is work on your characters, get them really strong. And I think if you improve upon Lotion Man, you can really get that routine down.
Yep.
there we go. Improve Lotion Man. That is the key to success
Yeah.
here.
My neighbor is asking for my spicy pics, so I exposed him to his wife.
Oh, exposed like the spicy pics.
The double expose. Buckle up, this is going to be a long one. I'll need to add some context so the story makes sense. Context. Me, 29 female, and my husband, Will, 30 male, are currently going through a divorce not related to this story. But this happened during our separation while we were going to therapy to try to work things out. My neighbors, both mid-40s, male and female, have 3 kids, 14 male, 12 female, and 5 female. And the neighbors are swingers. This is important later. We'll call those 2 Angie and Jacob. 12 female has some mental health issues that is important to the story as well, but I will not be going into detail with what's wrong. By the way, this comes from Slow Adhesiveness 893 on the OK Storytime subreddit. So, back in 2021, my husband and I moved into an apartment complex close to my parents because my mom helps me out with my son, 8 male from previous relationship, a lot since I work from home. I work early in the morning, so I would take my dogs out to the park every morning where Jacob would be leaving for work. At the time, I didn't know what unit he lived in, but we would just exchange a hello, good morning, and be on our way. In the afternoon, there would be a woman on the second floor smoking, overlooking the sidewalk to the dog park with 5 female, where the little girl would always yell down to me that she loved my dogs. This went on like this for a few weeks. Will, Angie, and I finally all met officially one night when she came down and dogs ran up to her. Dogs have a good sense of character, and the 2 of us are always on edge about meeting new people for a number of reasons, and that was the start of our friendship. And when Jacob and I said that we had met already, but never talked beyond the good mornings, we would invite them over for dinner and vice versa. One night, we're all sitting around talking about things, and that's when they told us they were part of the swinging community.
Oh.
That was all lead up to this.
They're taking a swing right now.
Based on how Will and I act and dress, they thought that we were also part of it, but quickly found out we are not. Or maybe they hoped. We have friends who are also, but we ourselves talked about it, but decided not to pursue it. They were respectful of our choices and never brought it up again. Fast forward a couple of months, and a few not super important things happened to bring us all closer as friends, including Angie basically saving my life. She found me unresponsive on my bathroom floor with my door unlocked and my son home. I had knocked on their door earlier to ask Jacob if he or Angie would help me get my son ready for school, and he told me she would go check on me at some point. I don't remember much about the day, but the doctor said I was in really bad shape when the paramedics brought me in. Angie had gotten into my phone and called 911 and my mother and Will to get home to the situation. From that point on, I put that dang woman on a pedestal. I respected her on such a deep level and saw her as the sister I wish I had. I found myself always spending time with her and her children. I loved them as if they were my own, and I still do, so not having contact with them stinks. We all had each other on Facebook, phone numbers, and Snapchat. Now here's where the issues started. In 2023, Will's grandmother passed away, and then exactly 7 days after my father lost his battle with cancer. This was the catalyst of mine and Will's relationship deteriorating as we were not emotionally available for each other, as Will felt that every time he came to me for comfort, that I would turn the attention on myself due to my father. I thought we were sharing our grief, but I was wrong, and I went to Angie with all of my issues. We would sit on her couch for hours and just talk while Jacob was in the other room. My father left me a good sum of money, so I paid out the remainder of our lease, and my family moved in with my mom to help maintain the house because it was massive. But I would still go over to their apartment all the time. After we sold the house and moved into another across the street from the apartment complex, crap hit the fan, and my husband and I started the separation. Now, it wasn't uncommon for Jacob to send me things on Snapchat. Why do you guys have Snapchat?
Yeah, maybe.
Why do adults have, I don't know,
Why
maybe
does anyone have Snapchat?
Personally,
guys, let's get rid of it.
I don't see the need for Snapchat anymore. Normally, it was videos or pics of their dogs or kids, but after I made it known that Will and I were separated, Jacob started paying a little too much attention to me. But I was grief-stricken because of the separation and losing my dad in the same year, so I ignored most of it. But every time I would have a selfie on my Snap story, he would have something to say.
Oh, he was.
I know someone like that.
He was there.
Literally,
I'm here
yeah.
for the selfies.
No, every time I would post something on like my Instagram story, I have this one person who would always just, or no, like
he's just being like, "Wow, you look great.
Yeah.
Oh, you look great in that today."
Yeah. I was like, okay, thank you.
Thanks for sending that for the 87th day in a row. Person I never reply to.
Nothing incriminating, but it was all the time. It also wasn't uncommon for me, Angie, and Jacob to always hug when saying goodbye or to comfort my grief. I wear a lot of crop tops because I'm comfortable in my body, so I'm used to always having a hand on my skin. It doesn't bother me. But what did bother me is that Jacob would deliberately start getting handsy when I would give him a hug, to the point he would put them up the back of my shirt.
What?
That was the moment I started realizing this was not okay. During the time of my separation, they started having issues with their middle child to the point she needed help outside of her parents and had a few stays at a youth facility. I didn't want to add to their issues, and I just chalked it up to he just needed comfort also. But I stopped allowing him to hug me after that. At one point, I was talking to Angie about a vampire-themed boudoir photo shoot I was going to be doing with a friend. For those who don't know, boudoir is a style of dress where we are dressed in lingerie, but mine consisted of partial nudity.
Wait, that's what boudoir means?
Yeah.
I thought boudoir was just like another way to say bedroom.
My friend was female, as was the photographer, but I only told this to Angie. However, Jacob was home, but in his room. A few more weeks go by without much incident from him besides snap messages at inappropriate times of the day, like 2 or 3 in the morning. I finally started noticing the red flags.
Well, also, that's not during the day. That's at night.
That's at night.
Those are night Snapchats.
As time went on, he started making more outwardly flirty comments to me, but I would always redirect the conversation back to, his wife. But he kept at it with his behavior. I started going over less and less, but when I was there, I made sure not to be alone with Jacob. I still loved Angie and the kids, so I wasn't going to let him ruin that for me. When I finally let my husband know what was going on, because I was handling this all myself, there was a text exchange between me and Jacob where I finally shut down his crappy behavior. When I got my photos back, they were absolutely beautiful, but there was definitely some nudity in them, so very, very few people have seen the gallery. Not even Angie has seen them. At this point, Jacob and I had barely spoken. I would leave him on red or not respond to his snaps. He and my son share the same birthday, so I did send him a happy birthday message, and that was the last thing I had said until he messaged me late at night one day saying he was sad. Why don't you go tell your freaking wife that?
Yeah, boo-hoo, I'm sad, not my wife.
Immediately, I thought something was wrong with his daughter because she was back in the facility, so I responded to him asking what was up. I was wrong about what I thought was up.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
No. He said he was sad because he wanted to see the gallery. I finally had enough and proceeded to tell him why he was not allowed to see them and how by asking shows how little he respects his wife, on top of how dare he use my separation as an excuse to try to get me into their weird throuple lifestyle. But he basically kept begging me to send him the gallery, knowing full well there were spicy photos of me and a friend. This guy sucks. A few days later, Angie thought she had COVID, so I left a rapid test outside and texted both of them, where Jacob responded with yet another flirty comment that was ignored once again. I think this behavior is outright not okay.
Oh, no, this is just like a gross, cringy way to try to get
which
a
she
girl
might not know
to
about.
like look at you or be interested in you.
Icky.
Yeah, sorry, your husband is a cringe.
We were in the PTA together and I wanted to handle the situation as delicately as possible. I started making remarks on how Jacob's behavior was making me uncomfortable and maybe she should talk to him. That's bringing it up.
Yeah.
Boy, did I soon find out that both of these bees were cray-cray.
Oh, they got the cray-cray.
So they were both in on
it.
Will had texted Jacob saying he had seen all the messages between me and him, and he had until morning to tell Angie everything before he does it himself. Well, this Delulu man somehow spun the story that I was the one chasing after him and offered to send him the gallery, even though he didn't have any proof of that. This banshee of a woman decided to call Will and go off on him, saying how he needs to make me back off of Jacob and stop flirting with him. But there's text proof.
Didn't they want that, though? Didn't they want this?
I don't know.
Didn't they want this?
Will was obviously confused because I had showed him the text exchange about the photos and how I was never reciprocating his advances, while also redirecting the conversations back to his wife. But all of your conversations should be redirected back to joining us live every weekday at 3 p.m. PST. Just tap our profile. She told Will that the last message there was, because of us, was the happy birthday message I had sent, but he had deleted everything that followed. Joke's on him, I had my receipts. I already wanted to go no contact, so I blocked them both on everything already. So I strategically took screenshots of our text exchange with the happy birthday message and everything below it, sent them to Will, and he texted them to her. Somehow it was still my fault, and she even went as far threatening to beat my butt the next time she saw me. That's insane to say to someone who was your friend and you were really close to and saved your life and your kids were friends.
Well, didn't you read? She was clearly trying to steal her husband.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that part.
Aggressively trying to take her husband.
Let me tell you that I quit the PTA so fast and removed any mode of contact we had. They still owe me money, but the amount I lent them doesn't break the bank, so I'd rather cut my losses than take them to small claims court. If I don't see them ever again, it would be too soon. I don't know if I'll ever be able to update this post, as I don't know if there was any fallout between the two of them, but I can imagine the damning evidence I had set Angie's way definitely caused problems. So am I the a-hole here, or did I do the right thing by exposing him? And edit, I forgot to write this, but the only reason I'm writing this out now is because the homeboy tried re-adding me on Snapchat at 4 a.m. 3 days ago. He never changes.
He's consistent. You know exactly what you're getting.
No, P, you're obviously not the a-hole. You had creepy neighbors who were trying to get your spicy pics and then blamed you for it. Just cut them off.
Simplified your whole life by just being like, and blocked,
and you're out of my life.
Blocked.
My wife sent spicy messages to someone else, and I want a divorce. So this started a few years ago, and I thought we were happy.
No.
We were a usual suburban professional couple, financially secure, healthy, good, spicy sleep life, 2 kids, 14 female, 9 male at the time. I thought we had a healthy social life.
Well,
by the way,
sometimes the white picket fence is rotted.
And on the inside. By the way, this comes from a deleted on the r/OK Storytime subreddit.
No.
So, we were going to one of your typical married couple rough patches. Both of us were working long hours, not spending enough time together. We were going through some developmental problems with my son, and tensions in the house were running a little high. I noticed that she was spending a lot more time on her phone, texting her girlfriends.
Her girlfriends. Suspicious.
I didn't think much of it, and I started making a much more concerted effort to get out of work when I could, help around the house, and be more emotionally available. But over the course of a few weeks, the gulf just kept getting wider and wider. I ended up accidentally finding some messages when I charged up an old iPad for my son to use. Her Facebook Messenger was still logged in, and there were a lot of highly questionable messages with a guy from her hometown who I will call Jim Bob Cooter, JBC for short.
Why?
I don't know.
Why will you call him that?
Bob Cooter?
The messages weren't completely inappropriate, but I could tell there were quite a few missing based on the times and context of the messages. I made a mental note to keep an eye on this and went about trying to fix things up. The next day after I took the day off to knock off some projects that I thought would make her happy and left her some sweet notes reminding her how much I appreciated her, she was once again in the corner of the living room texting her girlfriends.
She's always texting her girl.
I
texting about?
Took the boy's iPad to the office, opened up Facebook Messenger, and watched in real time as my wife tore me down. Her and Jim Bob Cooter were making fun of me. All of my flaws, insecurities, and secrets I entrusted to my partner were now fodder for her and JBC. Not only that, but while there wasn't outright spicy texting, there was a spicy undertone to the whole conversation, especially when she was bashing our performance my performance in the set.
That is so messed up. Leave him. If you don't like him, leave him. Why are you being a freaking bully? A little fake bully. I hate you.
Because it makes it hotter, I guess, for her.
Ew, you're the worst.
She is the worst.
You're what's wrong with the world.
I managed to take some screenshots, but missed a good bit of the messages because as the conversation was unfolding, she was deleting them.
Well, you didn't delete them fast enough, buddy boy.
I wasn't emotionally capable of confronting her. I stayed in the office until she was asleep and had a couple of drinks. I took off the next day and spent some time soul searching, drinking, and trying to figure out what to do. The wife came home and wanted to know what was wrong, and I just copped out and told her I had a bad day. A couple of minutes later, I was watching the iPad as the train wreck kept unfolding. So began a couple of weeks of taking screenshots, drinking, and detaching myself from the relationship. I knew there was no going back from this. The messages were now overtly spicy, with my wife completely into it, and JBC was sprinkling in a few I love yous.
Oh, I can't imagine saying, like, getting to the I love you stage while you're cheating.
I consulted a lawyer and got my options and started moving forward. Here's where everything got completely and absolutely surreal.
Why is OP just letting this happen?
Watching the messages, I found out JBC was coming to town to spend a weekend of quality time with my wife in a pretty nice hotel.
Oh.
Is OP just collecting evidence or just
Yeah,
like doesn't know what to do?
Doesn't know. I think it's a combination of him not knowing what to do and collecting evidence.
Because hopefully he's in a fault state.
I was missing a good bit of info. They must have had a phone conversation about it at some point, but I was able to infer enough to get the when and where. Sure as crap the next day, the wife is buttering me up, wanting to take a spa weekend with the girls to relax. When she gets back, we can really focus on our marriage. I go with it all the way. The greatest idea she's ever had, and I'll do anything to get us back on track. I get with a lawyer and have him draft a strong separation agreement stating that she would move out, she would get weekend visitation, no child support in the interim until the divorce is final. Then I sit through the most agonizing 2 weeks of my life. After all of this, most of my feelings for her are completely gone, and I'm just seething with anger like I've never heard before.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
D-Day arrives. I take the day off work. I withdraw half of any money in any accounts we are joined on, leave her half alone, and I have already directed my paycheck to a new bank.
OP's on Omaha Beach, getting ready.
I close our money market account and get a cashier's check for her half and deposit my half in my new account. I stop at Office Max and print out 75 pages of Facebook Messenger screenshot, and I kill time because I don't want to be at home alone. She texts me that she's taking off and that she loves me. I tell her to have fun. I show up at the hotel at about 8:30 and call the wife's phone from the lobby. It goes straight to voicemail. They are probably already at it, whatever. I walk up to the front desk and ask if I can use the phone to be connected to JBC's room. It rings 3 times and he picks it up.
Can I be JBC?
Sure.
Okay. Hello?
JBC, can you send my wife down to the lobby, please?
I don't know what you're talking about, bro.
Okay then. I guess I'll just have to call Mrs. JBC and get her down here. Totally a bluff. I knew he was married and I knew her first name, but that was it. Me, you've got 5 minutes. Click. Not even 2 minutes later, my wife comes down out of the elevator looking a little flustered. I sit her down in the corner of the lobby.
Like she just had spicy sleep?
Mm-hmm. Her. Starts spewing B. Do you want to be her?
Yeah, sure. I don't have line.
It just starts.
It's not what it seems like, I swear. JBC and I are just work friends.
I'm not here to argue. The things that are said in this pile of papers are what's going on. The only way I'm not giving a copy of this to our daughter, your parents, and emailing it to everyone we know is if you move out immediately.
Please, no.
This is a check for half the money in our money market account. I've withdrawn my half of the money from all the other joint accounts. You should have more than enough to get a place. Starts to cry a little. You can almost see the different thoughts and waves of emotion going through her. And now is the time to keep pressing. Here is a separation agreement that I think is more than fair considering what's going on. I'm going to need you to look it over, sign it, and leave it at the house when you get your stuff. Do you want to look through these screenshots?
Oh.
Okay, then go have fun with JBC. Do not come back to the house or I'm going to send this, holds up a ream of screenshots, to everyone. I bounce out of the lobby and I can hear her start to have a breakdown. I get to the car, drive off to the parking lot, and have my own crying rage fit. Previously, I would have cried in front of her and yelled and whatnot, but I managed to get my crap together enough to pull it off. I don't know what she did that night or over the weekend. She texted and called over and over wanting to talk. I just turned my phone off, and by the time Monday afternoon rolled around, there were movers getting her stuff, and she delivered the agreement. I let her have a talk with the kiddos, basically saying, Mommy and Daddy need some time apart. We still love you, etc., etc. The standard divorce talk. And after a week, she wants to have a real talk for the first time. I oblige her because I've already got my crap together and I've got an idea of what I want, but I should hear her out. She says she's so sorry. She wants another chance. She wants her family back. She'll do anything. I was never going to give her another chance. All I wanted to do was kill time, establish myself as the primary caregiver to the kids, and establish her as not having residency in the house. Well, after a few months, I go to my own therapist and I get diagnosed with depression and PTSD. I ask my work if it's possible to go part-time for the foreseeable future to deal with personal issues, and it's no big deal. Once the divorce was finalized, I needed the kids to want to stay with me. I left a Google search on how to survive your wife's infidelity up on the shared PC at home, and I left some printed out infidelity articles, not so hidden, in the kitchen.
That's messed up.
What do you think, y'all? Justified or not? Put your answers in the comments.
That's messed up. I'm confused. Why exactly did he do that?
So
the kids would want to stay with him.
That's a really messed up move. If you're going to do that, then you have to have bravery to tell them to their face instead of do it in this kind of.
Well, what if
way.
like do you think would he be justified in saying, "Hey, this is the reason that we're breaking up"?
Again, like this is not really about my feelings of how this impacts the mom. I don't really care about her, but to the kids, that's a really messed up way to find out that your parent cheated.
Yeah, I feel like it needs to.
He needs to tell them.
Yeah.
If he wants to tell them, if he's like, I need to tell them, I want them to want to be with me, fine. But do it to their face.
Kay says that's an immature thing to do to your children. They will need support. I think
agree.
that's the key, where it's like, if you are going to break hard news to your children, the children need to know that they can ask you questions and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think it's actually, beauty like that. It's cruel to the children.
And 13 says, Matt, mom shouldn't have cheated. Again, I'm not really saying that he shouldn't have told the kids. I'm just saying that the way that he did it is kind of ridiculous to me.
Everyone says 39% a-hole, 56% justified a-hole, and 6% not the a-hole.
I think he's not a justified a-hole. I think he's a full-on a-hole.
I feel it's an a-hole move.
I think that is an a-hole move, again,
justified.
to the kids.
My daughter found them and came crying. I told her she wasn't supposed to find those, that mom made a mistake, that mom still loves her, and that I would always be here for her.
Why wouldn't... See, that's what I'm saying.
You
Like,
just have that
have that
conversation.
conversation. Why did you have to do it that way?
Yeah.
If you were going to tell her anyway.
My daughter, who used to hold my wife in such high regard, now wouldn't talk to her without screaming, and it crushed her.
Yeah, I think that's ridiculous.
But if you want to be uncrushed, you should go join our lives every weekday here on YouTube at 3 p.m. PST. Just tap our profile. Well, not surprisingly, when the court needed statement for the kids a few months later, little brother followed big sister's lead, and they both wanted to stay with dad in the house they grew up. When the divorce was finalized, I got the house, had to buy out some of her equity, but that's okay. I got primary custody of the kids. I got awarded generous child support due to difference in our incomes due to me working part-time. Smart. Now, for the last 2 years, I've gotten to live in the house with my kids, work part-time, get the now ex to subsidize it for me, and when she takes the kids over on weekends, I get to have my fun with my Tinderellas and some friends with benefits I've cultivated.
Tinderellas? That's insane. I've never heard that.
In the eyes of my kids, I'm the patron saint of fatherhood for taking the high road and always being there.
You're a
In the
liar.
eyes of my ex, I'm the one that got away that she will always pine for, and I get the bonus of having her come over. What? And I get the bonus of having her come over for spicy sleep whenever I want by dangling the carrot of maybe getting back together, but that is never going to happen.
I'm sorry, OP sucks. OP is the a-hole.
This is
So manipulative, and I hate him.
the
villain
arc.
origin story.
Literally
yeah.
a villain. I'm sorry, he is the villain. One, he manipulated his children into thinking, into letting them know that their mom cheated without actually being brave enough to have that conversation with them to their face. And then he's saying, oh, yeah, now my children think I took the high road, even though he freaking lied to them. And then third, he's dangling spicy sleep in a relationship over his ex-wife. What?
I want to know her side of the story. What caused her to cheat? What was he doing?
Honestly, I don't trust him anymore.
I don't trust him anymore either.
Yeah, I hate him. I feel so vindicated.
Everyone's the a-hole here.
Absolutely.
I think he's for sure the a-hole.
Absolutely.
What a also
Weird.
Radish says, dang, the dude had every opportunity to come out on top and he just kept talking.
Yeah. Literally
li-
should have shut up.
In the last couple paragraphs, just destroyed all credibility.
My girlfriend's furious I deleted intimate pictures of my ex before showing her. My current girlfriend is pissed at me because I deleted old pics from an ex-girlfriend from 14 years ago without letting her see them. Weird. While cleaning out my closet, I recently found my old iPod Touch. This thing's from 2010 and I absolutely loved it. Stumbling upon it after all these years is like finding a time capsule. So we excitedly hooked it up to see what 2010 to 2013 me was up to. While having a good time laughing at all the tall tees, mall bod, and extremely fake bling. Oh God help me. And fitted caps I wore back when we were going through the pictures together, we stumbled across some butt naked pics from an old relationship I forgot were on there. Spicy pics. That's dangerous going through photos.
Also think it's so funny that he had this on an iPod. I remember my iPod. Actually, did I have an iPod Touch? I had a really old iPod.
I had an iPod Mini.
I had the chunky, you could just listen to the music on it.
A shuffle.
I think it was the iPod Shuffle. Yeah, it was that really chunky one. I remember I had that.
There we go. Throwback. By the way, this comes from Cyberdriver XXX on the OK Storytime subreddit. So trying not to make a big deal of it, I said, oh crap, and turned the iPod away from her and deleted the pictures, which I thought she would understand. Was I wrong? First, she playfully asked to see them. I told her no. She knows that's messed up, and things quickly went very south from there. She wanted to see them.
That's just really icky.
That is icky. That's
Again,
not
you
okay.
shouldn't be showing anyone pictures
of
intimate
anybody
pictures.
else.
Alyssa Roxanne says, no, you can't show other Nikki pics without the original sender's knowledge. That's the one I was looking for. I think that it doesn't seem like OP intentionally kept them.
No.
I think it was just he was I don't have this phone anymore. Yeah. But you should never be showing intimate pictures with anyone but the sender.
Exactly. She started accusing me of hiding things, saying she just wants to see what she looks like and that it's no big deal, and eventually started crying. I told her the pictures are from 14 years ago, and if I showed my ex's spicy pics to her, what's to stop her from thinking I wouldn't show her spicy pics to someone else if they, whined and moaned enough? And now she accuses me of calling her a a B, belittling her and already thinking of the next woman. Things are seriously snowballing, and I've never seen this weirdly jealous and nosy side of her before. We've been together for about 6 months, but on and off again friends with benefits for about 2 years. And she knows I don't have patience for silly childish crap like this, so I kicked her out of my apartment. Oh my gosh. She calls me an a-hole and says she's going to have to think about our relationship. And I told her if she wants to break up over some nonsense like this, then we shouldn't have gotten together in the first place. Okay, true, but kind of stings to hear that.
It stings, but I honestly think that she's being wildly inappropriate. And he's also not saying that I want to break up with you. She's saying that.
Yeah.
And he's like, you know what? If this is your line in the sand, then fine. I'm not showing you pictures.
I know I was right for not showing her the pictures, and the tears was a manipulation tactic, but I'm absolutely stumped as to why she would try so hard to see them, and figured maybe this sub could provide some insight into this utter madness. Which, by the way, I mean, maybe you're intrigued by like what that person looked like, you know, and like
why the girlfriend is asking?
Yeah.
I think there's probably some insecurity, definitely some insecurity, but I think it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know, to be insecure about a relationship that happened 14 years ago.
Yeah, 14.
And to be like, you're hiding something. Like, again, not only is this old pictures, but we know they are 14 years old because they're on an iPod. No one uses iPods anymore. Like, the proof is in that.
Oh my goodness. This just feels, yeah. Some comments. Bodobot said, you'd think she'd have more respect for you for deleting the nudes and not sharing them and deleting them in front of her so she knows they're gone. Yeah, and then Opie said, we're having a good time too, mostly laughing at me dressing like a clown in shiny costume jewelry, as was the style at the time. And this was like a time capsule, you know, ancient and legendary memes. Hide your wife, hide your kids, classic. Rick rolling, Afro Ninja, and Cyber Police, convos with friends long gone or grown up with the family now. I was really enjoying the nostalgia, and then it all went sideways for no reason. But hey, that's life, huh? Another comment, Thariah Last. I'm sorry, but she's not good yet for an adult relationship, not the a-hole. Update, 4 days later. After not talking for a couple of days, she finally texted me asking why I haven't called or texted her, and I told her the truth. I've been mad at her and trying to decide if I wanted to continue the relationship. How the fact that we were having a good time 1 minute and then the next was pure madness reminded me of all the crap I went through with my mom as a teen and how I don't want to deal with that ever again. Also, it meant a lot more to him than what we, the surface level.
Yeah.
I had a very emotionally abusive mom that would constantly cause fights over literally nothing. Think DVDs, staple guns, tape measures, etc. And then kick me out of the house in order to show me whose goddamn house this is. So I have an extremely low tolerance for people starting up and coming at me over petty nonsense. And to top it all off, my mom has since passed away, so that's another layer of things. But I've never tried to make my issues anyone else's problem. I've told her about my mother before, so she knew all about this. She told me she didn't mean to make me feel that way, but my flat out refusal to show her the pictures combined with me turning away from her when I was deleting the spicy pics made her feel like I was hiding things and rejecting her.
I don't know. I've had people like in my life accidentally be like,
sorry, 14 years ago. Yeah, that could have just been a conversation. She doesn't need to see the photos to feel validated in her feelings.
Yeah.
I immediately called BS because I told her we were going to keep looking through the iPod. I was just deleting my ex's spicy pics, and she damn well knows it. And in the 2+ years we've known each other, I've never given her any reason whatsoever to doubt me or think I'm a liar. I eventually got tired of texting, so I try to call her, and she rejects the call, telling me she's not ready to speak yet. I tell her I'm done texting, so call me when she's ready to talk, and I quit replying. She starts sending me angrier and angrier messages, and when I wouldn't reply back, F you, this is controlling, what the F's wrong with texting? Oh, F your red-headed B. My lord. My ex in the pictures was a redhead and has been out of my life for over a decade.
14 years ago. She's like, go find her.
She goes and buys a red wig.
This is so embarrassing to be so jealous about a relationship that is 14 years old.
She be jealous. She then sends a picture of an action figure that's been broken apart, and I immediately knew who it was. Prison Mike! It was effing Prison Mike. He was innocent in all of this. You see, much like myself and a lot of you, and she loves The Office, so for her birthday this year, I hunted down a 3D printed Prison Mike with a 1 to 12 scale head and a little mug, combined it with a two-faced figure's body, and spent a week painting them both.
Oh, that is a great gift.
I then printed out a backdrop of the conference room as well as pictures of the main cast, except Andy, I hate him, and made a diorama with standees of them in it for the Prison Mike figure. All combined, the thing took about 2 weeks to make, but it was fun. And when I gave it to her, she went nuts, hugging me, kissing me, calling me sweet, and it's one of the most thoughtful things someone's ever given her. And now she's apparently taking a hammer to it.
She needs to go.
She needs to go.
She needs to go.
She's gone too far. Not Prison Mike.
Yeah, we have some relevant comments. Mine forever wondering said, Prison Mike gave his life to save yours. Dear Parsnip, 6802, block and move on. She's shown you who she really is. OP said, oh, most definitely. I refuse to be in one of those types of relationships where you come home after a fight and your clothes are cut up or your car windows are busted or Prison Mike is shattered, you know. And then Personal Regular 569, raise the boundary a bit higher, honey. Refuse to be in a relationship with explosive fights. Disagreeing with your partner is normal. Screaming, name-calling, and being aggressive are not. Your girlfriend had many red flags before she took out Prison Mike. And a good therapist, solo for you, can help you see these red flags before you get in too deep. Be kind to yourself. You deserve a soft life full of love and a partner who contributes meaningfully to it. You are worthy, and I'm so sorry your mom was so crappy. You didn't deserve that. Can this person write me a letter and make me feel better about my life, please? And then Thaddeus Toad, Esquire, I'm sorry to see how things panned out, but I'm glad you're safely away from this person. If I may ask, given all her unhinged behavior, do you think she would have had used you showing the spicy pics if you had against you later?
I bet she would have.
Whoa. And Opie says, oh, hell yeah. That's almost always 100% a trap at worst and a test at best. And they're both massive and unacceptable red flags. By the way, you can join us live on YouTube every day at 3 p.m. PST. Just tap our little profile. And Opie says, I'm done. I don't know what the heck her problem is. And like Phil Collins, I like OP. Elder Millennial, we know this. And like Phil Collins, I don't care anymore. Property destruction, whether hers or mine, for any reason, especially revenge, is automatically game over for me. I'm shocked, annoyed, and confused, but still thank you all for your interest and responses. And please pour one out for Prison Mike. He was truly the belle of the ball. Well,
yeah, so many red flags. I mean, just the initial red flag. I was like, he should get out of there. Her asking for the spicy pics? Yikes.
That's really
It's so
weird.
inappropriate. It's such an inappropriate question.
What do you guys think? This may or may not be just like for a personal. What about Polaroids? Spicy pics on Polaroids. How do you dispose of those? Do you burn them?
Hypothetically, if they're of you, then, if you want to keep them. But if they're of someone else, I think maybe burning them?
Burn, or I was thinking shred.
I was about to say shred. Yeah, I was about to say burn or shred. But burning is, you can make it a whole ritual. You can be like, you can go out into the moon and be like, burn.
Just go out to the moon.
Go out to the moon.
Quick flight.
Go out to the
Round trip.
No, like go out at night under a full moon and have like, you guys have never done that? You've never done like a moon ritual with your friends?
I've never.
Okay. See, I haven't done this personally, but I've been with friends where they like burn things.
Oh, you mean a moon ritual? Oh, sorry.
Oh, my bad. Yeah. You guys haven't done this?
We should all go out to the moon.
And burn your spicy Polaroids.
Well, I gave them.
Oh, so they're out in the world.
Yes.
Okay, I think you could ask and be like, hey, could you burn?
No, that's my thing. Can you ask for them back?
I think so.
Would you guys do that?
Yeah.
You feel uncomfortable and endangered, I would ask for them back.
No, I don't feel uncomfortable, but I'm like, what is going to happen to them? Because I'm not going to lie, guys, they're very good. So it's like,
I think you can ask for them back. I think you can say, hey, because we're no longer together, I would like those pictures back.
Oh my gosh, guys, that sounds scary, and maybe I will one day, but I'm just like, I was thinking to myself, like, yeah, what happens when, like, let's say people are gifted intimate gifts? When do you dispose of those, right? When the relationship ends, or you keep them until you enter a new relationship?
I think that if you are given intimate pictures or intimate gifts, I think you should delete them when the relationship ends. Or if they are physical gifts, give them back. Or ask your partner or ex-partner whether or not they want them back.
Okay. What?
What?
Riley's being
I
weird.
have been given some intimate things before and I have given them back. I just got reminded of them.
But you decided, like, without that person saying, can I have them back? You were like, hey, I think I should give these back to you.
I didn't want her underwear, so I gave them back.
Damn, she gave you her underwear?
I've never given anybody my underwear.
Underwear's expensive.
She didn't give them to me. She just left them.
Oh, wait. So
that's different, Riley.
That's different. That's someone leaving something at your house.
That's different.
I feel like you just tossed those out.
Yeah. Yeah. Why do you want those?
Because now she knows that you had them.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you guys. I appreciate the input.
But that is the end of that story. Let's get on to this next one.
Alrighty.
I said yes to a proposal, but then I took it back. I, 25 female, was dating Josh, 28 male, for a little over 2 years. I have always told him that a public proposal sounds like one of the worst things to me because I like to be private and get anxious about drawing attention to myself in large groups. He's very extroverted and it seems like something he would do. But I thought it would be a non-issue since I told him I didn't want that. A few days ago, we went to a restaurant for our anniversary and he ended up proposing. It wasn't that public, but there were a decent amount of people there and I felt pressured / didn't want to cause a scene. So I said yes. I didn't mean the yes. Even if he had proposed privately, I would have said no because it's way too soon.
Ooh, see that right there is the disconnect. Even outside of the public versus private, but like.
Later, when we went home, I gave him back the ring and told him that I'm sorry, but I hadn't meant yes. I only said it because of pressure, etc. Plus, he knows I would have never have liked the way he did it. He says that I should have said no if I felt that way, and getting him excited, then rescinding is talk. I understand what he's saying, but the fact that she's explicitly said, I don't want a public proposal.
That's the thing, right? One, she's not ready for marriage, right? So there's that. But then you ask her in a way that she doesn't even want. And the amount of pressure, if I were in a public place and someone proposed, of course I'd say yes.
I'd so say yes.
What?
I'd so say yes. I'd be like, yes. Oh, I'd be so uncomfortable. We haven't really talked in the past couple of days, and I'm not sure if I'm at fault here. By the way, this comes from LeaveBig971 on the r/OK Storytime subreddit. And there is an edit and an update. So let's get into this edit before we pause. We never talked about marriage in an official way. It was casually brought up here and there, and we both said we wanted it in the future, but never made plans / decisions. He only knows about my proposal preferences because of the times we sent a video of a proposal or someone else told us how they proposed. I know 2 years is a lot of time, but we were long distance, half dating, or broken up for some of it. In total, I would say we were fully together for just over a year. That is pretty soon.
Yeah.
Also, my parents have never been married, but have stayed together for 20 plus years, so it was never something that I felt a rush to get into it. I also feel like I'm too young to get married right now. I think the restaurant was his compromise. It wasn't that public, so I'm not upset at him for doing that. But there were still about 20 people cheering and looking at us, so I felt really awkward, uncomfortable, and unable to say no. When I gave him back the ring, I wasn't rude or yelling. I explained to him why I said yes and told him that I still wanted to be with him, just not get married right now.
Hey, you know what? I know what's so interesting?
Yeah.
If it were a private proposal and she were to decline, such a nice, like, I would much more prefer that to having people see that and then having that in the back of my head when I repeat it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like people heard her. Yeah.
Right. Like with this, it's just, oh, honey, like that's so, but I'm not ready.
Like, I'm not ready. And I also think that a lot of people take no as our relationship is over.
Right.
Which I don't think that rejecting a proposal is a relationship ender.
No.
I think it's just saying I'm not ready for that change and I want the relationship to continue for a little bit longer before we make that jump.
And I think this is why a lot of people, even when I was growing up, I think I had the misconception that you were just proposed to and it was a huge surprise, but realizing no, a lot of couples actually talk about marriage a lot before and then that you're expecting it.
Yeah. And there is an update though.
Ooh.
So let's see if he's being nice about this.
Being nice.
Because it might be a red flag. I reposted the original yesterday because it got removed, but it seems like most people agree that it's not that horrible that I said yes at first, then told Josh no later. I tried talking to him about it all. Marriage in general and how I didn't feel ready because our relationship hasn't been steady for a long time. him, but he kept turning the conversation back to how I really messed up by saying yes, then no. I even tried telling him that I was down for a long engagement, but he insisted that he wanted us to get married right now. What's the rush?
That's so weird, especially for just 1 year of like constant dating. People have different timelines, but a year.
But also, if your partner's not on the same line, unless it's been like, I don't know, 8 years or something, and you're like, okay, well,
then this is not happening.
Yeah, then it's like, okay, then we need to reconsider. But if your partner's not, like, give him a minute.
Yeah. Give him a minute.
We hadn't been dating for that long. Josh and I used to live in the same city, but we met about 2 to 3 weeks before he moved to his hometown. I travel a lot for my job, so even though we wanted to be together, it was really hard to find time for each other with the changing time zones. Full-time jobs out and never being in the same actual physical space. His hometown is also in a remote area that takes a lot of time to get to, even from the airport. We ended up breaking up after about 6 months because it was all a little too hard for both of us. Oh, so they also did have a period where they weren't.
Yeah, they were doing some long distance. Yeah.
And then they broke up over it. After a short while of not talking, he was visiting friends in the city where we met, so he asked if I was there, and I flew back specifically to see him. That started a weird half-dating stage for months where we would call/text each other every chance we got without actually saying we were dating. Then we realized that we were somehow making the long distance issue that we had been before work, so we started officially dating again. So it's been about 7 months since we restarted the relationship, which I think is also something you should consider.
There's been a lot of pauses and interruptions and a lot of things that you've had to figure out. And
yeah, I think her asking for consecutive time is fair. This proposal felt weirdly urgent for no reason, so I asked literally everyone I know and our mutual friends if I was crazy for thinking it was too. Almost everyone said I should just do it.
What? Who are these people in your life? I also don't love when people comment, you're the only one in your relationship. How does anybody know what you should or shouldn't do?
Yeah, really not up to them.
But I guess she did go to her people.
Yeah, but I think there is ways to offer advice without actually telling someone to do something.
Yeah.
But his brother told me that their mom, who Josh partially moved to his hometown to take care of, has a terminal illness and she wants him to get married before she dies.
Okay, game changer.
There is no clear timeline yet for her illness, but I guess he felt pressure to propose now so that she could see it before she goes. The reason he's upset is because after I said yes and he immediately texted her, and now that it's a no, he doesn't want to disappoint her, especially because I told him that I would want to wait a couple more years. This is all stuff that he has never mentioned to me. Also, by the way, you can join us live on YouTube every weekday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Just tap her profile. And there's a little bit more of the story, but pause. He should have told her.
What's up with these couples not telling each other like the really important stuff?
Like, obviously this is I think that is somewhat of a valid, being like
would that change your mind?
But that's the thing. I feel like if he had told her, it might have changed her mind. It might have been like, okay, we can do that, or we can have like a ceremony or something and then maybe postpone it. But we don't know because he didn't ask her. And I think that was up to, like, absolutely should have told her, and then she could have made the decision. Okay,
for herself. Yeah,
I don't know, I still think it's too soon, or like, you know what, yeah, let's do that for your mom and we'll move forward. It's the communication is just so lacking here.
I know that was kind of heartbreaking though, to hear that he like texted his mom like it's a yes and then be like, actually it's a no.
Dude, that's heartbreaking, but it's his fault because he didn't communicate. And it's so sad because it is a really tough situation.
Very tough.
But there's a little bit more. I'm not sure what I should do in this situation because I don't want to get married yet. But if there's anyone I want to marry, it's him. His mom will be happy if we do it now. But I still can't get over the fact that he never told me the real reason he was proposing and spun it so that I was completely at fault for what I did. We're both not even remotely close to getting married anytime soon if there wasn't outside pressure like this. Is it as bad as I'm making it in my head? I feel like he should want to marry me because he wants to take the next steps with me, not because his mom wants him to.
I'll be honest, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree because as someone who, like, I have older parents, my dad is fairly older than my mom and just old in general for the parents of this generation. And I definitely worry that he might not be able to see me, get married if I get married. Heavy on the if. I think that's just a reality we have to face. Like, our parents might not be there and it's so heartbreaking, especially if you have a good relationship with them. Just the reality.
Yeah, but I don't think that should be a reason to push yourself into something that you're not ready for.
Yeah.
That's the end of that story. Wait, let's read some comments though before we close it out. Dragon Mama says, yeah, he needs to communicate better. Raluca Anka says the mom dying isn't a reason for marriage though. Yeah. Duchess Kasana says, Anka, I agree. Maybe they can do a ceremony for mom but not actually get married, which is kind of what I was saying.
Yeah.
I think that would be the best idea.
Ceremony of love, you know?
Yeah. But I think it's like we could have figured out, or they could have figured out an answer if he had brought it up.
Yeah, I don't know why you wouldn't have that conversation and just be like, hey, proposing has been on my mind because obviously I love you, but also my mom's illness. And I just want to know where you're at. Yeah. And what we could potentially do to bring our families together in this time.
Because I want her to see I want her to see me off.
Yeah.
Or like you send me off on this journey. Yeah.
To the moon.
Communication. Just communication. Matt Hattergall, thank you for the $10 tip.
Woo!
A friend of mine was in the same situation as OP and asked me for advice. I'm going to give the same advice as I did for my friend. If you cannot see yourself waking up every morning still madly in love with them, then do not marry them.
Preach.
My wife is talking to other men and seeing their dicks. She doesn't think it's cheating. Am I overreacting?
Oh.
We have been married for 10 years and are very happily with each other. We have 3 kids and are a normal, busy couple. Physically, we are together multiple times a week, and both would say sex is great.
Both would say?
Multiple times a week with multiple kids is pretty good.
Pretty solid.
Pretty solid.
Solid record.
Here is the issue we have. My wife posts online in what I would call immodest outfits. She considers them fine. That discussion is for another time. But she receives a lot of compliments from men when she posts. They are all clearly trying to flirt and get more from her. She engages in conversations and will flirt back, leading a lot of them on. She gets their numbers, asks them to show themselves, etc., while she won't do anything for them, and then she ghosts them. So she's getting little D pics.
Oh my.
Maybe some big D pics.
Oh my.
I found out about this last week when I noticed a notification on her phone. It was a guy that was asking what she thought of his package.
Special delivery?
Sure enough, she had asked him to send a shot of that, and he did. Immediately, I thought she was cheating and confronted her. She then explained that was the point at which she would ghost them. She enjoys seeing what guys will do for her, but claims that it isn't cheating. I'm just looking at dicks. John, let me tell you.
Go. What do you got for me? What do you got?
A doctor.
Doctors.
Is in their office.
Yep.
Right?
Sitting there.
I'm married to that doctor.
Yep.
She's doing some physicals.
Yep.
The amount of penises she sees a day?
Ungodly.
Yep. Am I breaking up with her? No. That is her freaking job, to look at those penises.
So it is this woman's job to be collecting these pics.
I'm not saying it's her job, but I'm saying we live in a world of entrepreneurs. You can choose whatever job you want.
But she is going.
Someone's got to do it.
And she is going for it like the rent is due.
I'm actually surprised that she's not making money from this.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what she's doing it for? The love of the game.
She's doing it
doing it for the love of the game. You know what I'm talking about?
And can we fault someone for doing something for the love?
How could she get paid for this though?
OnlyFans. Duh.
But she's not posting anything. She's just looking at pictures of dudes.
She's posting provocative pics online, and this is her like.
And
her
she's
gen.
messaging. She's getting numbers and texting back.
This is what I'm most mad about is the loss of an opportunity. This is a business opportunity that is falling in your lap.
Truly, literally.
And you could be making tens of thousands of dollars. There's this girl I know. Men will pay her to rate their penises.
Oh, wow.
They send a dick pic. She's like 1 or 7, depending on how she feels. And people pay her.
It's good service.
She could literally just send back a number and get paid.
Any number she wants.
And then be putting food into the mouths of her children.
Wow.
She has children?
She has 2.
Wow.
2 kids.
You go, girl.
No, 3. 3 kids. She has 3 kids.
She's got mouths to feed and dicks to see. Okay?
But this isn't over.
No.
This isn't over.
There's more.
I can confirm that she isn't cheating, as I've gone through all the messages, and once it hits a certain point, she stops responding. Or does she start deleting?
That's the question.
That's the question.
Come on.
I'm not comfortable with her doing this. It feels like she's doing something wrong by leading these men on, but she says there isn't anything wrong with what she's doing. She claims that she is only having fun, which is what people would say when they're cheating.
Yes.
Babe, I'm just having fun.
Just having fun.
Why are you trying to rain on my parade?
Oh, why
my
do you
parade of dicks?
It's raining dicks. Hallelujah.
How do I/you all convince her that she is wrong on this? The craziest part, there's a little edit, but the craziest part is she's been caught red-handed and she's like, 1, I'm not doing anything wrong. 2,
Nothing.
I ain't stopping.
I ain't stopping.
I ain't stopping.
Why would I stop?
Yeah. You think you think a painter stops painting. You think Picasso put down his brush? Well, I guess he put out his brush and took up a shotgun. But
did Michelangelo stop halfway through the ceiling of whatever that thing is?
He kept painting.
Yeah, he did.
He kept painting that Sistine Chapel.
And it looks beautiful.
You know how many dicks are in the Sistine Chapel?
A lot.
At least 2.
Dude. Yep. Shout out to God.
Shout out to God.
Wow.
Anyway, edit. Showed my wife all the comments, even showed her some of the pictures I got from women on here. She didn't seem phased, still doesn't think she is in the wrong. I guess women sent him nudes to help him out.
Why is... Oh, my God. What are we doing here?
Wait. What do you think is actually going on here? I have the answer.
She is not just deleting them. She's using them. She's putting them to work.
She is not cheating. OP knows she's not cheating.
Okay, so she's not cheating.
She's not cheating.
She does have like an OnlyFans or something like that.
Basically. There's this little known site known as Chatterbait. Y'all were right. Found out she streams on Chatterbait. Oh, she's a streamer. As well as art jewelry. I'm so pissed. What's art jewelry? I've never heard of that one.
People like stream art jewelry and get money for it.
What?
Like a Etsy for live streaming?
Yeah. You know how like those people have like on TV shows have like watches and they're all like, check
like
out this
QVC,
watch.
but like online type of vibe.
I don't know what that art jewelry is, but yeah. So she is trying to earn a living. Trying to put food on the children's tables.
So she didn't miss an entrepreneurial.
She didn't. She's making money from this.
There we go.
Respect the hustle.
Respect.
Yeah. If you don't have a side hustle, what are you doing?
Come on.
Yeah.
Get your game up.
There's one relevant comment. Hedwig0517 says, your wife is gaslighting you. What the F? Are you kidding? You are underreacting to this.
1,000,000%.
I agree. It's not the fact that she's chatterbaiting. It's that she's lying.
You're in the same scenario, Sam.
Yeah.
You find out that your wife, the mother of your 3 beautiful children, is like, I got this little side hustle.
And I'm not getting a cut?
Well, you split
50-50?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, there's all this extra money coming in, and I'm just like I'm not privy to where it's coming from.
Why you got to question it? You're getting racks for nothing.
I would question it. I would be like, what's going on? Would I break up in this instance? Yes. I would, because it's lying.
Because it's lying.
But if my wife was like, I have the business opportunity of a lifetime. Did you know Chatterbait creators can make $10,000 a day? Not bad. And if you really build your skill set and like...
You get a schedule 5 days a week.
You get a schedule. You have good branding.
Yep.
And she's like, hey, I want to be a streamer. I think I would be more open to it.
Yeah, it's like
I think I would say be faceless for the kids. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Good point. Very good point.
Big brain moves.
Big as big as those texts, dude.
Big as those
big
dicks.
As the pictures in those texts.
Yeah. Big dick texts or small dick texts.
Or small.
Yeah.
All sizes.
Yeah.
All shapes and sizes. We don't discriminate.
We don't discriminate.
We love all your penises.
We love all your penises and whatever else you have. We love.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what else we love?
This next story.
Let's get into it. My girlfriend of 12 years said no when I proposed to her. Ouch.
12 years.
12 years. My girlfriend and I started dating when she was 20 and I was 22. Despite having been a couple for many years, we do not live together. I spend a lot of time in her apartment and sleep there most of the time. She mentioned marriage after 2 years we started dating, but then She stopped. No more marriage talk. Where'd it go? A week ago, I proposed to her. I bought her a ring and I made her a romantic dinner. But then she said that she did not want to marry me.
Why?
Ouch! That she preferred our relationship to continue as it was before. Let's continue. Let's keep. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah,
It ain't broke. Don't fix it.
I mean,
don't.
Yeah,
don't fix
it.
She's
got a point.
Don't fix
I'm
it.
not fixing it.
Good. I'm almost 35 and I want to marry her, live together, and start a family, but now I don't really know what her plans really are. That is so wild after 12 years.
How do you not? I feel like if I'm dating a girl for a month, I know whether she wants kids. I know where she wants to like end up in terms of like her living situation. I know at what time, like age she wants to get married.
It didn't come up. This is 12 years.
12 years? You don't know your girl.
It just didn't come up. I don't really know if I should continue the relationship or just break up. It hurts me, but I really love her and I don't know what to do in this situation.
Talk to her.
What do I do?
Talk to her about what you want your future to look like.
I have these lips that create these sounds, but I'm not sure what to do with this power.
Are you talking about queefing?
Oh my gosh.
What would be the best way to approach this delicate situation with my girlfriend, considering our differences about marriage and our future plans together? Sam, Riley, everyone in the comments. There is some relevant comments and an update that we got coming up here. But first, we got to break it down and help out OP. What's the best way to approach the situation?
All right. Don't be an idiot.
Don't be an idiot.
First of all.
Yep.
And talk to your partner. Like, yes. All right. I guess maybe he's like pulling from this one conversation they had 10 years ago about marriage and being like, I guess it's still the same now. But how do you not have another conversation about marriage leading up to the proposal? And also, how do you not know, like, do you want to, like, have you talked about having kids? At what time scale you want to have kids, where you're going to live, moving in together. Like all of these things, I think, are things that you should be talked about before you propose.
That's a year 13 thing. It's a year 13 thing.
Yeah, I honestly don't know how you have avoided that.
Truly.
Like,
it's not. Well, it sounds like she was avoiding it.
Maybe, but like, how does it not come up like in 12 years of knowing each other?
That is a fantastic question. It's like, something happened somewhere along the line where the girlfriend didn't want to talk about it anymore.
Because like after the 2-year mark, she did not mention it again. Because it might have been like, I keep mentioning it. I want you to do something about it. But it's kind of weird that they stopped talking about it for 10 years.
Both of them stopped talking about it. Talk about it.
Talk. Guys, what are we doing? On to some relevant comments. Soy Saucy says, y'all never talked about it in the 10 years you've been together after she brought it up in the beginning?
That's what we've been saying.
That's what we talking about. Big Asparagus 9383 says, you don't know what her plans are. You've been with her for 12 years and you don't know if she wants to get married.
Man
or have
doesn't
kids.
listen.
Literally.
Or she's just mute.
This is about to be a back-to-back of people just like asking why.
Yeah.
Eddie says, I love how his response for the same question was basically, well, like I said 10 years ago, she said she wanted to get married, but then didn't mention it anymore.
A decade.
Lex Mosley says, this reminds me of a joke that most men can relate to. If I said I'll change the light bulb in the hallway, I will. Just stop reminding me every 6 months. It's annoying. We have an update where things might fall apart.
We have an update?
Oh yeah, we have an update. Everything might crumble to the ground.
I hope he talks to this person.
No.
Talking is a statue.
Talking is a 13-year thing.
Maybe
Statues
it's
until
one of
13
those
years.
like body pillow things. And it's just like, yeah, she just never talks.
Yeah. See, I told you.
Yeah, just quiet little anime body pillow.
I spoke to her last night. We had a long and somewhat awkward conversation. She said that before she really wanted to get married and that she didn't expect a ring after 2 years. She just wanted to talk about it at that time to plan for a better future. When she talked about marriage, I told her it wasn't the time. Still, she waited. But when she turned 28, she realized the ring was never going to arrive. And for context, they are currently 34 male, 32 female, together for 12 years.
So 28, she just assumed the ring was never going to arrive.
Yes.
Wow. So they both didn't talk about it. They both are not talking about what they're thinking and feeling.
But like,
really solid relationship here.
In the defense of the girlfriend, OP was like, it's not the time at up to the 2-year mark, said absolutely nothing for 10 years, and now is like, what's going on?
I think they're both idiots.
Yeah, they are both idiots.
I think they're both
100%.
idiots.
Yeah. She said she no longer wanted to get married or live together. She appreciates her own space, and even though I spend time with her in her apartment, it is still her own space. So it seems like over time, she's basically like, hey, I've grown accustomed to having my own spot. After 12 years, I realized I don't want to have to share it all the time. And I've realized that it sounds like she just almost like doesn't believe in marriage anymore, right?
Yeah. Good job, Oki. Good job, OP. You've destroyed this girl's belief in marriage.
Congrats, bro. Regarding children, she does want to have children, but even when the baby arrives, we will not live together.
That's interesting.
They won't live together. Separate.
That's good. I mean, maybe just have separate rooms in the same house.
Remote parenting. Have you ever heard of it?
That I've never heard of this situation where someone is in an active relationship and they live separate.
Get with the times, dude.
Wild.
I don't even know what else to tell you.
No.
It would be like sharing custody and going out together as a family and still being a couple. Yeah, it is weird.
These people are wild.
She also mentioned that she needed 6 months to a year for her body to detoxify from the contraceptive, but she will still consult her gynecologist. So is she saying, yeah, let me, like, it sounds like getting off the birth control or whatever, but yeah, let's start the process so we can have kids and live separately and remote parent.
This is a lot of information. Wait, she, in the same sentence, like in the same conversation, I don't want to get married.
No.
I don't want to live together ever.
Absolutely not.
I want to have kids.
Yes.
And now.
Yeah. Let's start the process now.
That is insane.
Let's get this train on the tracks. She said that these are her terms and that I was completely free to accept them and continue the relationship or break up and pursue what I want. And I really don't know what to do. I really regret not giving her the ring sooner. You don't say, buddy. Plus, she has spent 12 years agreeing to my terms. I do not really know what to do. And we have some final relevant comments to close us out here.
Do you agree with her terms? I mean, that's it, right?
Do you agree or not agree?
Yeah.
Deal or no deal?
Is there any compromise to be had? It doesn't sound like there's any compromise. Or I guess the compromise is, I've done your thing for 12 years. Let's do my thing.
Let's do mine. Yeah. She's just like, you brought me to this point.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Wild.
Which kind of.
I don't think that's fair though, because they're just both idiots. They never talk to each other.
Yeah, they should have talked. She should have been at some point like, it sounds like she's hurt.
Yeah.
That he never proposed to her, which is fair.
Yeah. But talk about it.
Talk about it. Come on. But Jean's
moving these boxes all day.
All day, Mom. My back is killing me. Do you know what that is? Put in the comments if you know. Okay. Let's see who
deep cut.
Let's see who the real ones are. All right.
Riley, remember that?
Boxes?
Wow.
See?
Too deep.
Too deep.
Oh.
Too much of a deep cut. Riley doesn't even know, guys.
I don't.
It's too deep of a cut for Riley, our
We
producer.
haven't said that in so long.
It's been. I think we stopped saying that at the end of 2021, beginning of 2022.
Wow.
Long time.
Oh,
ago.
that's like when you guys were just getting started.
Yeah.
It's called a deep cut for a reason.
Wow.
It's deep in the cut.
It's deep in the cut.
But let's cut through Jean's cheese that pleases comment. I don't think you can give her what she wants in the long run. I think you'll try and convince yourself you can, but it will crush you when she inevitably sticks to her plans and doesn't fall back in love with you when you bond over a baby. Good luck. Janelle Bean says, reading between the lines, it sounds like he didn't want to discuss it when she brought it up 2 years into the relationship, and since then, she's been waiting for him to discuss it. At some point, she probably just abandoned the idea of marriage and accepted that her relationship with OP would just be what it is now. It reads like OP was going by their own timeline without any regard for what she wanted. I mean, seriously, you have to be pretty out of touch with your partner to propose and get flat out rejected like this.
Agreed.
How do you, like...
You're an idiot.
Yeah, just such an idiot, dude. This post is giving missing reasons I never saw it coming. TLF555 says, you dated for 10 years with no proposal. She gave up on you as a husband, but settled on you as a boyfriend / sperm donor because no one better came along. And they lived meh-ly ever after. And then Oi says, this whole story reminds me of Seattle. I know too many meh-ly ever afters in that city.
I've never heard that term.
Meh-ly ever after. Like merrily ever after. But wow, what a situation to find yourself in.
Yeah, it sounds like a pretty meh relationship.
It's the most meh of all time. And I guess the girlfriend was like, all right, you know what? This works for me. I get what I need out of it. I don't have a better alternative. But dude, what a slap in the face for such an wait, here's the question.
Yeah.
Who
is more of an idiot?
Was more of an idiot. I feel like it's OP.
I think it's OP.
Yeah. Because it seemed
she
like
at least brought it up.
She at least brought it up and brought it up until the 2-year point.
Mm-hmm.
So there was at least probably like 2 instances, probably a handful at least, throughout the first 2 years. And then she gave up, and she did, I think critically about what she did actually want and what was best for her. But I think she kind of gave up on communication with OP on things of this nature.
And also, like, I still think she should have communicated. I think they both should have communicated, but like, kind of the ball was in his court.
Yes.
She has made it known, I want this, and then it kicked it into his court, and then he just never looked at that ball again. And then like 10 years later, he was like, I remember this ball.
I remember you. Fushigi.
Yeah, Fushigi.
Oh! No marriage.
Yeah. Both idiots. OP's the bigger idiot.
100%. I agree.
But who do you think is the bigger idiot? Or do you think anyone's an idiot? Let us know in the comments below. Am I the a-hole for evicting my husband after finding the nanny's nudes?
No.
You should.
This comes from Icy Cable 3267. I'm new to Reddit, but my little sister suggested I ask here. I'm a 28 female. My daughter is Cassie, 11 months, and my husband is Alex, 35. So basically, it's just what the title said. I had Cassie and then returned to work. I'm a psychologist, as I could never be a stay-at-home mom. I'm actually French, but live in the US. So when I returned at the 4-month mark, I had a difficult birth. We looked around to find a nanny to look after Cassie, whilst myself and Alex were at work.
We're gonna need some help.
Whilst.
What kind of nanny?
That's how you know they're fancy, when they have a nanny and they say whilst.
No, if she had said au pair, that would have been.
That would have been very
that's
fancy.
the true
All
sign.
the French mothers have au pairs.
That is true. Oh my.
We saw a few
fancy.
girls, but then one of Alex's colleagues suggested his daughter, who had dropped out of college. Let's call her Liv, 20 female. Everything went well. Admittedly, I did notice her being quite attached to Cassie, but I brushed it off as a good friendship between the two. And again, that's Cassie, 11 months. Wait.
Cassie, 11 months.
How dare you be close to my baby?
She was holding my baby a lot.
Yeah, a little too much.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little jealous.
That is a thing where like kids you babysit, they'll call you mom. And you're like,
Have you been called mom?
Yeah.
By a child?
yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah,
That's nuts.
yeah.
Yeah.
She also liked Alex. Alex is the husband, 35. It was obvious she had a crush on him, always batting her lashes and giggling. I actually found it amusing, as I'm confident in myself. He always laughed it off with me too. But then on Thursday night, he asked me to do something on his phone whilst he bathed Cassie, and I saw some pictures flash up from Liv. No.
Were they flashing pictures?
When I looked at them, they were obviously sexy nude.
Not just nudes, They were sexy.
Dude, I was turned on. She was wearing skimpy lingerie and in provocative poses. I look back at the history, and she had been sending these for a while.
Oh my God.
As far as I can see, Alex has never responded, but obviously text can be deleted. When I asked him, he got defensive and told me to stop using my psychiatrist tricks on him.
Your mind games don't work on me.
Don't try to turn this on me.
Yeah. I've just been receiving nudes from a 20-year-old. I'm totally innocent.
I'm innocent.
Just because I'm in the wrong doesn't mean you should tell me I am.
Yeah. I was not happy with his non-answers, and it ended up in a shouting match waking Casey.
No.
Not the baby.
So I got him a bag and threw him out.
Good.
Told him he's not welcome back until I have some answers. I'm considering taking Cassie back home to see my family in France for a bit. His mother and friends have been blowing up my phone saying I'm being too harsh, and they were just harmless texts. Nevertheless, I feel disrespected, and that doesn't fly with me. Was I too harsh? Should I accept his claims that he just never responded? Edit. Not husband, fiance. Also, I'm not taking Cassie to France. We will visit my family for a few weeks, and Alex has given consent. And I've posted an update, and there is an update. There are also some relevant comments where OP is responding. But what do we think so far? Is the fiance innocent? If you don't respond to it, did you receive it? If a nude falls in your DMs and you don't look at it, is it still a nude that you were given? Is it real?
If the nude is in a closed box, is it alive or dead?
All right, I have a question. So if someone sends you a bunch of nudes and you don't look at them, is that okay?
But no, he did look at them.
We don't know he looked at them. He never responded.
But he had to have looked at one of them.
Why?
Because he's been getting all of these texts.
One time a while ago, I got a flurry of pics that I never responded to.
But how do you know they were dick pics?
Because I looked.
We got him.
The flurry happened. The flurry happened. The flurry happened, and then I looked.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Maybe she was the one to look.
He also never said that he didn't. He never said that he didn't see it. He just said that I never responded.
Which
implies that he saw it.
Is incriminating.
I think it's
incriminating because you should say, "Hey, stop
it,"
and you should tell your wife.
You go immediately to your wife.
Yeah.
Look.
You say, "Look at these nudes."
Look at the nudes.
Yeah. You go immediately to your wife. You say, "I'm sorry. I'm not comfortable with this woman in her house. Get her gone."
They're gone.
Yeah, it seems like he was too comfortable. What do you think? What would you do? What would you like him to do? But let's get into these comments.
Yes.
So the very first time she did that, he should have showed it to you.
Yeah.
That's what we said. And the two of you should have discussed what to do, which should have included terminating her employment at your nanny or engaging into some kind of OP. I'm kidding.
Lies.
Believe me, I've sent scathing messages of dismissal to her and her father.
Not daddy. Big
And
daddy.
this is also the friend. This is like the father was a friend of theirs.
Yeah, rough.
Which is even more uncomfortable.
That is so cringe.
Yeah.
God. Comment. You're not wrong. He went behind your back by not telling you about the. I would not allow Liv to babysit anymore. It's honestly weird that someone her age would try to seduce your husband who is 35 years old. It happens often though. And even weirder that your husband didn't say anything about it. I think it's weird on both ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it does happen. There's clearly something going on between them, and I would force him to admit the truth to you. It doesn't even matter if he responded to her pics or not. He still broke your trust by not informing you about it. Facts.
Yeah.
Big time
Opie says,
facts.
thank you. Yes, I'm suspicious. We have a camera in Cassie's nursery, so I'm going to look over the footage.
Don't
Nanny
tell
cam.
me she took the pictures whilst
Whilst.
next to said baby.
I think she could get arrested for that.
Probably.
Comment. There's nothing harmless in that behavior. You have been betrayed. That he tolerated it is enough. Where were the texts telling her he was a married man in love, a father, her dad's friend, and that this was her last 2 weeks? Why did he immediately jump to accusing you of dirty tricks? I would have fired the nanny, told Hub's friend exactly why, and then watched his reactions. You're not wrong. I'm sorry your husband cheated on you by continuing to accept these pictures. I'm sorry he allowed that person access to your home and your whole family. Opie responds, thank you. Yes, I fired her with immediate effect, and the father has been texted. And one more comment before we get into the update. You are not wrong. This is horrible. He should have told you with the first photo, and the nanny should have been fired. I absolutely think there is more going on here, which we also believe, which is why he's gaslighting you. You said her father is your husband's colleague. Well, I would be reaching out to him, letting him know, and then firing her. So it's like letting the husband's friend
know that there might be something going on with the daughter.
Drop the bomb.
I find it hard to believe that he never responded. Why not mention it to you then? I would not be okay with this situation at all. You know what?
He deleted his responses.
He deleted his responses, but not the pictures because he wanted to look back at them.
Yeah.
Nice job, idiot.
Stupid.
OP responds, I messaged her father earlier and I meant to update saying that he replied confused but disappointed. He apologized a lot and said he will talk to his wife about what to do next, but that's their issue. And there is a big, fat, juicy update.
Oh my God.
Juicy update.
Ready to get into it, boys and girls?
Let's do it.
And I want to know, before we get into this update, comment below what you would do in this situation. Would you divorce the husband? And if you were the husband, what would you tell the nanny and your wife? Let us know in the comments.
Divorce.
Update. I like to start this off by addressing the comments stating I'm kidnapping my daughter. I'm taking her with me on a visit to my family back home in France for a few weeks. Her father has given his consent.
What is wrong with
it?
people?
It is a non-issue. There was also confusion about my job. I work in the psychology field and I was just using this post as a sounding board. Really, the responses from his friends and mother made me question myself. As stated, I informed Liv's father of what happened. He was furious with both Alex and Liv.
Yeah.
There we go.
Alex's 35-year-old friend.
Yeah.
He apologized to me and said he will try to get the truth from her and that she rebels any chance she gets, but this was disgusting. So she's like a problem child.
Ooh.
Which why would, if she was the problem child,
why did he suggest her
as a nanny?
Yeah, maybe
Yeah, he's like, hey, maybe this will straighten her out.
Yeah. Some child care.
Yeah.
Well, it didn't.
Wrong.
What better to learn than from a child?
I then looked through the camera in my daughter's nursery and I saw a clip of Liv asking if she wanted a sister or brother from Miss Livy and Daddy.
No.
Not only are they hooking up, but she has the intention of being with child.
Oh, actually?
That's what like from what we just learned.
Oh my God.
Because she's like, do you want a sister or brother from Miss Livy? She's like, do you want me to bear children? That made me feel sick to my stomach.
Disgusting.
She responded to her dismissal with denials, but I told her I had the footage and that she was never to lay a hand on my baby again. But if she wanted Alex so bad, she could have him. I reminded her that how you get them is how you lose them, and he would soon tire of a 20-something college dropout kid.
Oh my God.
Alex returned to the house temporarily for us to talk. After me showing him the camera footage and texts from Liv, he broke down and said he was really sorry.
Too little, too late.
Too late. Too bad.
He admitted that whilst nothing happened physically between them, they had been exchanging photos and messages for a month or two. He showed me the original messages, and it was her who had pursued him. She started by saying she felt like a schoolgirl around him and said she needed advice from an important man like him.
No.
Ew.
And sent him a photo of her in lingerie asking if it was sexy. That's not advice. That's not asking for advice.
What are we talking about?
He started out not really responding, but after a few texts, he responded, and it started from there. She was saying things about them being a happy family together, but he never responded to those texts. He begged me to forgive him and start fresh. Question for the comments. Would you forgive him? Is this a forgivable offense? Would you be past it, or would you just kick him to the curb?
No. What
do
you
you
do
think,
is
Sophia?
you take your bags and you go to France.
Yeah.
And you
teach
leave
your baby
this man.
French.
Yeah.
Chocolate
And
bleu.
you eat a baguette right next to the Eiffel Tower.
Oui.
He said, we can move and that we have plenty of money. He will do whatever I want.
I want you to get out.
I told him what I want is to go home for a few weeks. So that is what I'm doing. Cassie and I are flying tomorrow to France. He honestly looks so pathetic now. They're welcome to have each other. There will be no wedding, and I will be consulting with a custody lawyer once I get to France to see my options both in the US and internationally. Because again, they were not married, they were fiancés with each other. But as someone in the comments said, I stayed in the US not because I think it's a good place to live, but because that's where Alex was based and that's where we wanted to build a family. However, I will always support the daughter-father relationship, but he cannot have our daughter and his nanny.
You can't have both.
Now that's not happening. I would like to move home and most certainly away from this nanny. I am not looking for custody advice. Mini update from Liv's father. He has found and sent me some of the deleted messages. Liv talks about wanting me out of the picture so she can be Cassie's mom. What the F?
Murderous nanny?
And there are some more relevant comments and another thick update. This gets extremely more juicy. The juice has not even been halfway squeezed.
It's only just started.
It's only been starting to dribble. She was really 100% delusional, OP, and Alex fed into it. Do you trust his judgment for the kind of people you would want around your child, especially once he starts dating again? Are you sure your daughter will remain his priority while she is solely in his care? I know it's never ideal, but please don't completely dismiss you having full custody. If moving back home to France is what's best for you and her, he can travel and bend his life to accommodate hers. If he doesn't, you have your answer.
Now we talking.
Yeah.
OP says, thank you. Yes, that is a worry I have. I will probably go to France, but I will try to sort things out for him to still see her. Comment. Many people are foolish. Do not listen to them. What kind of father would he be for your daughter if you had equal custody? He obviously cannot be trusted. And that is the worst kind of father for a girl or a boy to have. Case in point is his behavior with a 20-year-old nanny. He didn't shut her delusional behavior down. He allowed her to send him photos and to have this young deranged woman state she wanted you out of the way without calling her or cutting the relationship off. Seek legal advice in France. I would hope that those circumstances should make it fairly easy for you to get full custody as long as you allow some kind of visitation every 2 weeks for him, which he likely wouldn't use anyway. Best of luck. OP says, I will support him to have a relationship with a daughter, but he is not a priority anymore. And into the updates. Let's go straight into the update. So, hi guys. Thanks so much, all of you, for putting your support and advice under my 2 posts. There are also some very obvious insecure incels in the comments claiming I'm kidnapping my daughter. You're giving my sister and I some great laughs.
Look at these idiots.
Anyway, for the update, Cassie and I have been in France for 2 days now. It's been so wonderful to be back with my family after missing them for so long. They've been doting on Cassie, especially my mother and father, who even though are divorced, remain very amicable for the sake of my sisters and I.
They're not sleeping with the nannies?
They're not sleeping with the nannies.
Who would have thunk it?
Crazy. That can happen.
Yes.
Mama had a whole room set up with toys and blankets for Cassie. I've also been loving the wine and cheese. Very French. Very French. Oui, oui.
Oui, oui.
And gossiping with my sisters. It's been very good to let loose after all the stress, honestly. And I've gotten to ride my family's horse and show him to Cassie.
Ooh, are they the south of France?
I think they're in the French countryside. Well, they're doing well.
Lovely.
Someone suggested I meet up with some old friends to go out and let loose, and that's exactly what I did last night. I went out dancing, had some great food and wine, and went dancing. French life seems kind of dope.
Kind of nice.
I've only spent 6 hours there.
But do they have more hot nannies?
They do.
Yes.
Yes, they do.
Get them out of here.
Au pairs there. There's this one guy from our group who used to be very flirty with me back in the day. Anyways, one thing or another happened, and we ended up going back to his place.
Oh my.
It was good. Actually, he listened to what I wanted, and we were both very pleased at the end. And so he's my new nanny.
Wait a second.
Cassie's happy as I am.
Where's this interview? You passed.
I'm meeting a lawyer today, and my ex has been ringing. I let him talk to Cassie whenever he wants, but I'm refusing to engage whilst I'm on my break.
Love the whilst.
Whilst. And people need to calm down. I didn't say I had sex with him. It certainly sounded like it.
What
Since people
did she
seem to
say?
want details, we went back to his, talked about life, and had a steamy makeout session. Although it doesn't matter, as I had kicked my ex to the curb already. Also, Liv contacted me out of anger when Alex cut all contact with her to show that they had a one-night stand a few weeks before I found out.
Oh, so he did sleep with her.
So he lied.
Lies.
We already knew he
did
lied.
have a physical relationship.
Stinky man.
Stinky man. Stinky man.
Stinker man.
Who would have thought this stinky man of a stinky man would have done stinky man things?
Who would have thunk?
But guess what? John, Sophia.
What?
Riley.
Tell me what?
There's another update.
No way.
Yeah, way, dude. There's another update. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the tea.
I will.
Nice. So, comment. Thank you for the update. And wow, he had a one-night stand with this girl. Well, that just goes to show his family that they were not harmless texts. They were tempting texts, and he gave in to temptation. He does not deserve a second chance just because. And no, you do not owe anybody any explanations about whether you're banging someone else or not. Alex already left the relationship. He ended it when he chose a 20-year-old girl. You have no responsibility to him. As for the kidnapping bit, not sure where people get off saying that. You weren't married, right? Opie says, thank you. No, we weren't, and I don't intend on keeping our daughter from him, but he will have to put in some hard work for custody of her now. Really quick to both of you guys.
Yes.
What do you think about her getting relations? So some of the commenters were up in arms about her making out with this dude back at home.
I don't think that's an issue.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily advise it, but if she was like, hey, I'm leaving you.
Yeah.
Well, now
And they're also not they're not married.
They're not married.
And they're not married.
So there's no
married.
there's no separation divorce thing going on. This is just a breakup.
Even if they were married and she was like, hey, I'm leaving you, we're done, but they haven't legally divorced yet, that's still okay too.
Like emotionally, it might not be helpful. But
Talk to us, Riley.
I'm confused.
Yes.
Why are you confused?
Because check me on this. In the French culture, is it okay to have mistress and wife? Because in a lot of the French movies that I've watched, like the older French movies, it's like you have your main wife and then you have like someone you're like,
the French are stinky people that cheat on each other.
Again, I've spent 6 hours in Paris.
And that is something I've heard about the French.
Yeah.
Any French people
French
in the
people get in the comments.
Do
Tell
y'all
us
have
otherwise.
mistresses?
Yeah, because
it is more, from what I know, it is more common.
It's more
I don't think
common.
it's a universal
It's
thing.
not part of the accepted culture. It's not like...
I actually think it might be part of the accepted culture.
Yeah.
Didn't we read that one thing that like France outlawed paternity tests because everyone was hooking up with everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they didn't want like people
John's
to
like,
skip out on children.
Yes.
We did read that, right?
We did. It was like Germany and France or something like that.
But French people in the
French people,
comments,
let us know.
tell us if
Educate
we're
us
wrong.
because we are woefully ignorant. But let's get into another comment. Also, if you haven't already subscribed, what are you doing? Subscribe. If you don't subscribe, I will cry. And it won't be pretty.
I will beat this
I'm very glad that you and Cassie are doing much better. You deserve a life stress-free, no piece of fiancés and nannies allowed. How did he react to you dumping him? Have you heard anything new about Liv from her dad? That girl needs a reality check. And OP says, he's delusional, wanted to drive me to the airport, didn't get the message until I gave him the ring back. Liv's dad has been great. I feel bad for him. And OP has indicated she will be ending her relationship and wants to split custody of her child with her partner. But she also indicated that she's not met with a lawyer yet at the time of the most recent update. As such, we can reasonably expect that there may be another update because custody arrangements and other issues still remain unsolved. And guess what?
What?
There is another update.
Oh my.
Update 3.
Update number 3. It keeps going. The gift that keeps on giving.
It was beautiful.
Thanks. Hi, guys. A lot of you still comment on my old posts asking for an update, so I thought I'd let you guys know what's happened in the past few months, as I'm sure it'll anger the men in the comments again. So, after going to France to visit my parents immediately after what happened 6 months ago, I agreed with my family that I needed to come home to France with my daughter. My family said they would provide any help I needed with moving and lawyers, and my father said a prayer that we never had the wedding as there was no divorce to have to go through.
Yeah.
Makes it easy.
There we go. Thanks, God.
When I returned to the U.S., I informed my ex-fiance that there would be no compromise or discussion on my next steps. Cassie and I would be returning to France, so I would have my support system closer and I wouldn't feel so isolated. I told him I'd never try to stop his relationship with Cassie and that he would be welcome to visit her in France depending on where he decided to live, and that I would happily bring her back to the States to visit periodically. However, I wouldn't compromise with Liv, the cheating nudie nanny.
Yeah, nudie nanny.
If I found out she had been near my daughter, I would stop all contact between him and Cassie.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Question.
What?
Is that legal?
That's illegal? Yeah.
Is it?
For the custody? I mean...
I think she could apply for full custody if...
She could.
Yeah.
So, and then probably if she has full custody, she's just letting him out of the kindness of her heart see the kid. And it's like, hey, all right, I'm going back to, you have 0 time.
But I don't know if she does have full custody. I don't know if she technically, like, I feel like that's an okay line to draw, but I don't know if she can legally
Maybe
do
only
that.
if she wins that, but maybe not yet.
We don't know.
We don't
She
have it
might
yet.
not have that leverage.
Right.
Let us know in the chat or let us know in the comments if that can happen, because my understanding, if you can prove paternity of if the guy knows that it's his kid, he has a right to see the child, right?
Until I guess the split of paternity is custody.
Yeah.
The split of custody is determined by the law.
So I felt like after what he had put me through and how he had disrespected me, I was quite gracious with my offers. We managed to sort the move out in the next 2 months and sign an agreement which stated I was the primary custodian of our daughter and I made most decisions regarding her. It sets out specific times Alex could be able to see or have Cassie. He basically agreed to all of this because he thought once I had left the US, I would become more sympathetic and let him back in once we were in France. I didn't bother to correct him, frankly, because it benefited myself.
That ain't gonna happen.
To have the dad around sometimes?
No, I think she's saying,
what it seemed like is he was like, oh, everything is going to be fine later. She'll let me back in. And she let him think that. So he would agree. So he would agree.
Yeah.
Is that bad?
I think he assumed things. I think she was like, these are the rules. And then it seems like he just assumed that she would change her mind. I don't think she lied about anything.
She didn't lie, but she leaned into the assumptions.
I don't know if we know that.
I feel like when it is the fate of your interaction with a child, I feel like you need to be completely upfront about expectations and also if your partner has misinformed expectations. I would say overall, not the a-hole, slightly a-holy to obfuscate some of your intentions. I don't know, dude. Someone cheats on you. Someone cheats. Do they still, is there an expectation to have them be in your child's life? I feel like, yeah.
I think there is. I think the issue here was that she does not want the nanny around, and there is a possibility that she might be if she gives her ex-fiance unlimited or on
some sort of custody,
supervised watch of unsupervised custody of the daughter.
Devil's advocate, why is that relevant?
Because the nanny we know is trying to butt into the relationship with Cassie.
She has successfully done so.
But specifically, we don't know. I think
Do you think she's trying to get, you think the nanny could threaten the life or the well-being of Cassie?
I think that's what Opie thinks.
Or simply continue to build a relationship with her to sour the relationship with Cassie and her mom as she grows from baby.
And she's already said, I want to be your new mom. Which Opie's seeing as
right. So that for that reason, okay, I think that is a really good distinguisher because basically what Liv is doing is she's potentially poisoning or has shown signs of wanting to poison the relationship between OP and Cassie.
Big risk of manipulation.
Yeah.
One could say.
That I feel like that is warranted in that case.
I'm gonna be your mommy now.
I found a really nice apartment a street over from my parents, so I moved in there once my parents and sister had helped me get it decorated before I came to France. We've been here for over 4 months now, and Cassie is settling in great. She goes to daycare with my friend's son and has made great connections here with other kids. I'd forgotten how much more social having kids was in Europe compared to the US. Once I was added to the parents group chat, the mothers had immediately suggested welcome drinks to get to know me better, and I've made some more amazing friends with other moms and dads.
That's adorbs.
So cute.
I didn't have any of this in the US. It really helped Cassie's language skills as her French is developing much better than when it was just me speaking to her. I've put her in baby ballet like my parents did with me, and she's loving it. We've gotten a rescue cat called Walter.
Walter the rescue cat.
And Cassie adores him. He sleeps at the end of her bed and looks after her all the time. Alex has been over twice since, even though I had given him plenty more chances to see Cassie. However, he didn't take me up on them. For context, there's no issue with money and his passport to excuse why he won't fly. We spent Christmas with my parents and my sister and her partner, and it was just a lovely celebration after the shit that happened. I've started seeing one of the doctors from the new hospital I work in now. It's still relatively new, so she's met Cassie only briefly. She works in the emergency department, and she's honestly amazing. I did jokingly say Alex had put me off men and didn't mean to take it so literally. Bisexual woman, shocking, I know. It's going slow as she knows what I've come out of, but she's very laid back and a go with the flow kind of person, which is exactly what I need. Alex's mother is not happy, as she is of the opinion I should have just ignored ignored what happened between Alex and Liv. However, I'm not just a little American housewife who will ignore her husband's indiscretions.
That's right.
Thank you all for your advice and support in my initial post. Edit for all the Americans getting annoyed at the phrase little American housewife. Not my words. I was literally quoting Alex's mother and what she said to me. She is American. She's like, American said it. You got to pass. She said when I was in her family, I was expected to act like a normal American housewife and forgive my husband like her and her daughter do. None of that European nonsense.
I don't even know if that's accurate, though.
I don't think it is.
Inverse.
I don't think that's accurate.
The Europeans are like, oh, you cheated. It's okay.
That actually is a good point.
Yeah, maybe.
I think it's both, honestly.
Yeah.
But edit, it's really funny to see the men in the comments proving that there's still a double standard. I don't know why I, as a mother, am expected to stay in a country that doesn't speak my first language, where I don't have any family, little friends, no support, have to deal with Alex's family, all for his sake, so he doesn't have to make an extra effort to see his daughter when he was the one who decided to break the family in the first place.
Yeah.
And relevant comments. First, congratulations on the move. That's fantastic. I'm so glad you have a good support system now and that you're happy there. I was rooting for you. I think that's a good point, because it's like the mother should go wherever she can best take care of her child.
Yeah.
Indeed.
You know?
Look at all the support she has now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Instead of being
European
a single mother,
mommies.
she gets, yeah.
Second, as an American housewife, I can tell you that nothing would end my 30 marriage faster than any kind of infidelity, including nudes. That's why I was so outraged for you when I read your earlier post. I'm really glad you were able to turn your situation around. Well done. I wish you all the best. And Shooter TX says, yeah, sounds like mother-in-law and sister-in-law were just idiots and have a very warped sense of what it means to be an American housewife. And then finally, have a warped sense of what it means to be an American housewife. When I think of American housewife in context of finding out a boyfriend, fiance, husband had an affair, I think of going full Carrie Underwood, a la Before He Cheats, Two Black Catalysm, or Church Bells. Good thing for Alex and mother-in-law that OP isn't that type of American housewife. I don't know that reference, but I'm assuming it's
Before He Cheats.
Kia's car.
Yeah. That kind of stuff.
Like,
But that's where it ends.
Wow.
So how do we think OP handled all of this? Was it good? Was it bad? I want to know in the comments. What do you guys think?
I think it was good. I think OP broke off the relationship at the exact right moment when she found out. I don't think she was taking her child away from her father spitefully.
No.
She
Yeah.
wanted to be near her family, which
And
I think
also,
is
she did talk to him about all of this. It wasn't like he was like, no, you have to stay. Like, I need to be with my kid.
There was consent given.
There was consent given. I think
I
it would
would
be
wanna
a
do the
different
same.
story.
Yeah.
If it like they didn't have that conversation,
Yeah,
she just
no.
left.
They
But
had
there
that
was always that
conversation.
conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think she did anything wrong.
My favorite part was like she was able to move back to France, and like she had a man's like kind of waiting there for her, and she had like girlfriends there and like
Yeah.
a new community. That part's amazing.
Yeah. It honestly feels like a kind of happy ending.
Yeah.
As
She gets
happy
a
as it
new
gets. As happy as it gets.
She gets a new girl. She gets her family. She gets a baby. She's thriving.
She's got it
Thriving.
all.
Effed up by finding my boyfriend's spank bank.
The update.
Ooh, yeah, we got an update from that fateful story that we left off on.
Let's hear it.
So first, a little context from OP. I wanted to break up with him because I effed up, violated his privacy by snooping.
Yeah,
I
she
agree.
looked at his spank bank. A spank bank is a man's private property.
That's right. Even if it's not FDIC insured, it's
Yes,
still
even so.
locked down. You know what I mean? I agree with the lot of you. It was effed up, way worse than finding old nudies. Kind of like cheating because of the trust thing.
I don't know if it's exactly like cheating.
I wouldn't call it cheating.
But snooping on the phone is a violation.
Yeah, snooping on the phone is not what. But also, like, you should have, I don't know, me and my partner, we have open access to each other's phones because there's
No
nothing
secrets.
to worry about. So we talked. I came clean. I told him that I know I violated his trust and I should not have snooped. And I would understand if he didn't want anything to do with me anymore. So I was breaking up with him.
Damn.
It's an interesting way to phrase it. I don't know if I would phrase it like that. But
What?
It's just like, hey, I don't know if you want to have anything to do with me anymore.
That's
I'd
not
be
breaking up with you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, the deed is done at any rate. I told him I'd stay in a hotel or something if he didn't want to be near me after this, but I couldn't allow him to be with me when I'm so effed up.
Because like she snooped. So she's like, she just feels really bad about snooping.
All right. Man, it's really taking it to heart here.
Yeah.
He told me I was reaching and he didn't feel like his privacy was violated. He said he had nothing to hide. He knew my capabilities and said he expected it years ago,
but was surprised that it didn't happen until now.
When he says capabilities, like in the first post, she was like, "Yeah, I can work things out on the internet." Is she like some like crazy hacker?
Yeah, maybe she's like some sort of like super
genius.
Usually white hat hacker, but this time we turned the other direction.
The white turned into a black hat.
Bless you.
Thank you.
He asked why I didn't just ask him, and I told him that I didn't know. I didn't have an excuse. He asked if I ever felt like he lied, and I told him about a few things. Yeah, buddy, I think you lied about a thing or two, my friend.
Well, he didn't lie. He said he had a spank bank. He
was fucking his boss, who demoted her, like fucked her over.
But it sounds like he was doing that before they were together.
Oh,
it was like a past relationship with an ex-boss. I mean, like
that's dicey because it happened. The boss fucked with OP during the relationship.
Maybe during. Oh,
it
yes.
sounded like she was like, oh, you're not going to get promoted. Or whatever.
Like it seems at the very least there was some intentional things left out that he didn't come forward with.
Thoughtful omissions.
Yes, thoughtful omissions.
I brought up some of my findings, and he said he was telling the truth when he said he wasn't into it. He said he lied about his inexperience because he didn't feel like it counted since he wasn't into it.
Oh, like all the sexual partners he had in his spank bank. He's like, oh, like, it doesn't really count because I'm not. Bro, that's not sexual experience. This seems like a lie, though.
The logic of these
that's a lie, dude.
Wow.
That's a lie, bro. I mean, if you ask like someone, hey, are you experienced, or like, what have your partners been in? Like, I feel like it's like,
I didn't like it, so
I didn't like it, so it doesn't count.
Yeah, it's like you fuck your girl's best friend, and it's like, oh, well, I didn't like it.
Yeah,
so
no,
like
it wasn't good.
It wasn't cheating.
good.
It was fine.
Yeah, it wasn't cheating. It was fine. It was chilling.
Hilarious. He said he didn't want to break up and felt like he could move past it because it wasn't as big of a deal as I have made it, but I couldn't get past it. So then so be it.
I feel like OP is way too hard on herself and not hard enough on the boyfriend.
Bingo. Yes, absolutely.
Bingo. Fuck yourself, boyfriend.
That's right. He said he didn't know he liked girls like me until he met me and crushed on me the whole time we were friends, even with all of my crazy.
Because he was only into like white blonde girls before. Yeah.
Apparently. He told me he thought those girls he dated before was what he was supposed to like because of where he grew up.
I don't know, man.
This guy is getting worse and worse in my eyes. He says he wasn't settling me because of his reasons that I'm not writing out.
Okay.
I asked him to. I asked him to sit. I thought it was I asked him to sit on my face.
And it was all better.
It was all better. I asked him to sit in on my first therapy session with a new therapist because my old one passed from COVID.
Wow, this is a train wreck.
Good gravy. Everything's just going wrong for OP. He said he's thinking about it because it's not his thing.
Yeah. Well, it's also a little odd to go to someone else's therapy session, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've never heard of anyone
I mean, if it's in the context of like a couples thing.
Well, yeah, if it's couples therapy.
Yeah, that is
like,
a little bit. That's a bit strange. She's like, hey, come to my personal thing. And
let me dish my dirt out in front of you.
I guess we're not broken up, but only time will tell. You broke up with him.
Yeah.
If that's what you want, then
this is weird,
OP,
dude. I'm not into it. I'm not into it.
There's so many things that are going wrong. I still effed up though. I'm not dismissing it. I should probably add it here that I effed up by posting this on effing Reddit. No, OP. No.
OP.
You are not in like
you are in the wrong a little bit, but not
the most.
Yeah, not the
by
most.
far.
Not
I
the
mean,
most by far.
You
dude.
are giving him way too, and he's just he's taking advantage of it. He's like, oh well, it's
what
like,
is that lie?
I'll have to work past it and stuff, but like I'll be okay. Like we can still,
This is messed up, dude.
My husband is sending nudes to a coworker, and I don't know what to do. Should I leave him? Should they leave him?
Absolutely. 100%.
Divorce.
Gone.
Divorce.
Oh, yeah, they're married. Divorce.
Oh, yeah. Big divorce. I mean, even if they weren't married, divorce. Divorce is for everyone except for people who submit stories to r/OKOP show.
You get married.
That's right. You marry. So if you want to submit a story to us to read, just like this one, go to r/OKOP show or
call 440-508-6567.
Let's dive in.
Extension Guitar 2805 says, "Hi, OKOP. Hi.
Aw, hi.
I am truly at a loss. My husband, male 34, and I, female 32, have been together since 2012.
Ooh, that's long.
11 years in the game.
Yeah.
We've had our fair share in ups and downs over the years, but recently married in April of 2023. We have 4 children, ages ranging 12 to 2.
Okay.
I'm a stay-at-home mom and have been for 8+ years now. I recently this year had joined my children's school's parent-teacher club. It had been more of a job than I truly could have imagined. I'm there more than I'm not. I put on a trick or treat for my kids' school and was so proud of all the hard work. My husband came after work for what was left of it, about 15 minutes, and had cleaned up a little and then went home. I finally cleaned everything up, counted some inventory, and headed home. I stopped to grab him some food as my mom took our kids home so we could go to another event the following day/night. When I got home, he ate and I took a shower. Now, this whole week of me spending time at the school was to prepare for this trick or treat. OP keeps saying trunk or treat.
No, that's the thing.
That's the thing.
Trunk or treat.
Wait, what is trunk or treat?
So trunk or treat.
Hold the phone.
Have you been saying trick or treat instead
I
of
thought
trunk
they
or treat?
misspoke. There was like a few misspellings. Okay, what is what is trunk or treat?
Trunk or treat is when a bunch of people get like, it's usually like school events too.
Okay.
They'll get like a bunch of cars and will like sell, like give out candy instead of having people go door to door. It was a really big thing during COVID because they didn't want like people
going
like
to your house. Yeah.
So it was like outdoors and, you know, like everyone's, you know, wearing masks and stuff. And so it's continued into like the present. But yeah, so it's everyone just in cars giving out candy at in their cars.
OP
or out of their cars.
Part of the OK fam. I am so sorry because I was unaware of this. I thought it was a autocorrect error, but
is John the a-hole?
You know what? I am the a-hole and I am the error, ladies and gentlemen. I must be corrected. So Sophia, thank you for educating me.
You're welcome, of course.
Now, OP goes on to say, now mind you, I kept up with all the housework during this trunk or treat. And I noticed his attitude towards me was so harsh and not normal. It really made me suspect that something was wrong.
Yeah.
When I got out of the shower, I had such a weird feeling come over me and have all week. I knew I needed to check to just let my mind rest. So, when I was asleep, I checked his phone. Really quick, gut check.
Yeah.
Okay, fam. Sophia, off of the feeling, is this grounds? Is this grounds to check the phone?
I think that if you have lost like trust to the point where you're going to check someone's phone, that's just like your relationship's probably
something's not right.
Yeah. I don't think that people should be checking their partner's phones in general.
Yes.
That's like a sign that maybe the relationship isn't working, you know?
Yeah.
Like I think if you need to check your partner's phone, I think that's like
Yeah. We say usually like there's oftentimes where there's some sort of thing that happens, like some sort of tangible piece of quote unquote evidence that's like, okay, let me do some further investigation just so I'm not jumping out the gate and accusing them. This one is kind of tricky with the
just on a feeling. I mean, trust your gut, and it seems like maybe they were right, but yeah, I don't think you should be checking your partner's phone. I think that you should be talking to them, and then if that is not working, then maybe it's like, oh, well, this relationship's just not working.
I got a feeling.
Yeah. And that's relationship advice with Sophia.
That my partner is cheating on me.
And that's singing with John.
That's right. So we're at the point where OP has checked the phone. Mind you, we have each other's passwords. So I didn't sneak.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know.
Trust your gut, OP, but
this might be the grounds for having a conversation first. We shall see. We shall see. And I noticed he had a Snapchat from his coworker. OP opened the phone and saw that there was a picture of her breasts and more.
Wait, like they opened.
They saw OP saw her husband got a notification on Snapchat,
and then opened
it was breast. This is not his first time doing something like this to me.
No.
He has cheated, which also from our conversation earlier, this gives way more grounds to her checking the phone, right?
Yeah, I think you should I personally think that you should not get back with someone who's cheated on you.
Yeah, it's not good.
But I do get you having
There are
kids.
situations,
There's
kids, so many things, right? He had gotten photos from others prior to this. And I have mentally had to pull myself out of severe depression and horrible self-esteem issues.
Oh.
OP, you are a queen and do not deserve this.
You don't
We
deserve
love you,
it.
Korean.
Yeah.
I love you from everyone here
Yeah.
in the studio.
Absolutely. And I understand wanting to stay with someone who's like, you know, the father of your children
Yeah.
and needing support in that.
4
but, like,
children, 12 years.
you
That's,
don't deserve that.
You don't deserve it.
You don't deserve that.
You deserve love and appreciation and all the wonderful things on this planet.
Absolutely.
I don't want to go through it all again, and I feel like I am back to that deep, dark place that I got myself out from years ago and multiple times before that. Am I the a-hole for wanting to leave my husband for this? It's been so true.
No.
It's been so incredibly hard to watch him go off to work every day when they still work and talk to each other every day. Not to mention, my stepdaughter loves her, and talks about her all the time. Mind you, they are both closer in age than me and her, the coworker, are. So the daughter and the coworker are closer in age because the coworker must
Wait, the 12-year-old daughter?
I mean, I guess if she's like 20 or something, then that could be closer than. Yeah,
she would have to be 20.
That's still crazy.
That's insane.
Yeah, because then she's 20. Like if she's 20, OP's 32. That's 12 years.
It's got to be 20
Goodness
or
gracious.
22 at least.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And it kills me every time she says her name. I truly don't know what to do. Please help, advice, anything, please. Thank you for reading. Am I the a-hole? XO. OP, first off, we love you.
We love you.
And
I love you. John loves you.
We every single Big Protein.
I love you.
Big Protein loves you. And you do not deserve any of this madness.
No.
As Sophia has said, it of course gets complicated when there is all, the children and the years of the relationship, your life is together. You have been giving your all to the children and your job as a mom and staying home for a while he is out at work. So that's the complication of like, where do I?
Yeah.
There's so many things. There's so many things I'm sure that you have to consider. He's done this before.
He's doing it now.
Sophia, can you kick us off?
I think he's going to do it again if he's done it before and he's doing it now.
I agree.
Yeah.
High risk. Very high risk.
And I understand. I mean, obviously I don't understand being in that situation.
Totally.
And being in a relationship with like children.
Yes.
But like you've already said that you've been in she's already said that she's been in a depression before and going back into one. And if it's not helping your mental health, and it doesn't seem like he's really doing much work with like helping out with the kids with the trunk or treat or like helping out at home. So like, I guess weighing, what the effort that he puts in with the kids.
Yeah.
And, maybe considering divorce.
Yeah. In an ideal world, I think definitely like seeing a therapist, a counselor, someone who can like walk you through these options that is a professional, has seen this, 100 times over.
Absolutely.
To be like, okay, here's how this happens. Here's how to think about it. Here's, just a unbiased, objective, licensed person for advice.
Which is not us.
Which is not us.
We don't know.
Big Protein is big, not validated or verified by any licenses.
It's true.
And neither are we.
Nope.
But also one of the beautiful things about our community sending us stories, everyone watching, if you have been through a similar scenario, if you have seen a similar scenario play out and something came good of it, please share your advice and stories and everything with OKOP. Again, obviously the three of us are by far not the most qualified professionals, which
maybe
I think
the least qualified.
Maybe the least qualified, which is why speaking with a qualified professional is great. But also the personal stories, like one great thing about that people get from sharing these stories is advice of people who've been through the same.
Yeah.
So I think it would be super awesome to OP if you would share your stories below. I'm sure OP would appreciate it. And
you are not alone, OP.
You're not alone. And hopefully some dialogue can happen.
Yeah.
I'm crossing my fingers. It's happened before. Hoping for the best for you, OP, that you can get some more great advice in addition to maybe some good advice and solace that we've given you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that might be a rap-a-doodle-doo.
A rap-a-doodle-doo.
For this episode. If you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.